views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host, Tyrone Thompson. Oh, what's up, Jermaine? Welcome to the show. Today is June the 4th, 2026. And as you guys know, I wasn't here last week. Literally, something came up at the last minute, and I couldn't finagle my time to actually sit up here for 3 hours. So that is what it is. Stuff comes up. It is what it is. I'm still here. I'm still doing whatever the fuck it is this is, so, and I got to be honest about it. This ain't no big YouTube channel or nothing. I don't have a famous blog podcast. I guess that's what everybody's calling them now. I just get on here and run my mouth every week. What's up, ABC and Frodo? I just get on here and run my mouth every week and invite you guys to call in and give me your opinions. Normally I know people like ABC and Sarge can't take me sharing these facts that I share. But that's what I do. I try not to mislead people, and if I'm wrong, I will correct myself about whatever. Because everybody's not perfect, and I know that I'm flawed. Just like the next human being is flawed, but I do my best, and with the assistance of Google and Wikipedia and other sites, I can be pretty assured that I can present the facts. You know what I mean? And that ain't the way it was before. Everybody and they brother, every time you bring up something on Wikipedia, you trust in Wikipedia? Wikipedia has become more valid nowadays, but because people try to argue against whatever their belief is, they're going to try to discredit everything that you present. And that's just the way things are. But anyway, I haven't been doing a whole lot. I've been spending a lot of time outside in my yard, and I found this new thing. One time I told y'all about my air fryer, and I love that thing to death. And then I went and got my lawnmower, but my daughter, who lives in Georgia, she has this thing. Let me see what the name of this thing is. Oh, it says electronic fly swatter on it, right? And I seen the commercials and all that kind of shit on TV. And I went and got me one of those electronic fly swatters from Harbor Freight. And I done fell in love with another gadget That thing is freaking awesome. You know, I don't know if y'all ever seen them. They these big ass tennis racket looking things, and you push a button and you wave it in the vicinity of the bug, and the bug get fucking electrocuted, and that shit is fucking, it's awesome. You know, I see all the fucking gadgets on TV, and I don't never buy that shit. But her and her husband lit swear by them, and I said, well, let me go get one of these things and see what it's about. Because you know it's getting that time of the year, mosquitoes out here, they got all kinds of little flying bugs and gnats and all that kind of shit. I can't stand an insect in my fucking house. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I cannot stand any flying insect. If I know a flying insect is in my house, I am going to lose sleep trying to find that motherfucker, because I can't do it. I just can't do it. If there's a fly in this house, he gonna get the fuck out of here before I go to bed. I just can't do it. And this thing comes in handy because all you have to do is wave the motherfucker and you zap him. Let me see if I can find one to show y'all. I know y'all like, what this motherfucker talking about? I'm telling you the damn gadget that I enjoy. Oh yeah, this is right here. I got it from Harbor Freights. Well, actually, they got the exact one I got right here. Look like. Yeah, it's from Harbor Freights. Yeah, these things. Right, I don't know if y'all listen. I don't know who make these damn things, but here's a goddamn promotion for them. If y'all ain't got one of these damn things, go get one. And these fuckers is awesome. They fucking electrocute the fuck out of them bugs, and you can get rid of your damn bug. Hey, what's up, Naomi? All right, so that's that. That's my new hobby. That's what I've been doing with my time. Um, and I guess everybody see what's going on in the world with politics. I'm just frustrated. I can be honest about how I feel about the situation in America. The situation is depressing. It weighs on you mentally. It's sad. It's upsetting. To see this country make whatever progress it was making and then do a complete U-turn and start going backwards, especially when it pertains to black Americans. And if you sit up here and think about it constantly, then you're going to have some problems. So what can you say? And I look at white people and their racism and what they're doing, but I've got to be honest about our situation in this country. It's not only white people that are fucking us up. We're fucking ourselves up too. Not only that, you have other races that won't give us a break. It's just ever since the beginning of this country, black Americans have been the whipping post, if you will, or the race of people that always gets the bad end of the stick. And I know that there's been, especially on social media, there's been talk about trying to fix it and coming up with ideas and all this kind of shit. Even so much so you want to move out the country to Africa and everybody be united and all of these things. And it's just frustrating. It's frustrating to watch the ignorance of the community that I'm a part of, that I love, that I cherish, that I admire, just be so stuck in the mud when it comes to progress. You have a lot of good talkers out there that says all these things, but when it's all said and done, the majority of those folks, all they try to do is do what the white man do and reach into your pocket. That's a fact. And then the majority of our community is batshit crazy because they believe in Christianity. They believe that somebody's going to come and save them. They believe if you put it in the hand of the man that walks on water, then everything's going to be all right. That ain't even a start of a conversation about the politics in this country. You know, you can't. And there ain't nothing wrong with you believing in whatever you believe in, but whenever you try to put that at the forefront of justice and equality compared to actually getting your hands dirty and becoming and knowing politics and changing policy, the church is going to lose every time. A perfect example of that is Israel. Israel is a heavily religious country. They started this extremist movement called Zionism. And they wear their yarmulkes. They pray, they do whatever, they do. But when it's all said and done, Israel don't rely on their religion to make moves. Israel go out there with their finances, by politicians, ensure that whatever regulations are written benefits them. They are buying media companies and controlling the narrative. Basically, every media outlet damn near in the United States has been bought by somebody in cahoots with Israel. And not only are they trying to control the narrative, Israel just buys up things that constantly makes them money so they can have the money to spend on the policies to control our government. That's the way Israel is doing it, Israel has basically bought our military. They bought our legislators. Donald Trump is damn sure in the pocket of Israel because of the money. But when it comes to the black community, we kind of do things differently. And we don't get there's no progress being made. You hear a lot of angry folks. You hear a lot of people that is really pissed off, but whenever you want to talk to them about making moves or come up with a plan or an agenda to make moves, it always falls short. And that's partly because we're not. I don't know, how can I say? We're not savvy when it comes to politics. And then when you got that going on, then you got Jesus going on. And then you got the scammers that promise you all of this freedom and justice that takes the money out of the black community. The church takes the money out of the black community. We spend all of our money on whatever, and so I'm just frustrated. There's nothing I can say or do to change the mind of the white man. I can call they fucking savage asses out all day long, but ain't nothing I can say or do that's going to change the way people and societies throughout history have labeled black people, identified black people, and are treating black people. And that attitude is so persistent that we have people in our own community that fight against their own interests. I talk to these motherfuckers at least once a week on this fucking show here. I haven't. The basis of my conversation haven't been anything more than progressing the black conversation of how unfair and unjust we've been treated throughout history. So you have these people call in and say, you a victim. Or, white people ain't really doing that. Or, it's always pushback at the historical fact of the mistreatment of black people throughout history. And white people have gotten smart recently because they have an agenda to change history, to change the narrative, to erase the knowledge of how fucking savage they were to black people. They done leveled up. They've done leveled up how they're controlling the narrative of how vicious and terrible they was to black people. So much so, you got black people not wanting to call white people racist. Then you got whole social media platforms of literally racists calling people niggas on the internet, and none of the social media companies are doing anything about it. But you can't get on here and call a Jew a kike. I might get this. I might get banned for even referring to that, because just as soon as you say that word, everything stops when it comes to social media. When it comes to the conversation, they're gonna make sure that you don't say anything negative about the Zionists. It's crazy because that the Holocaust that African Americans suffered, over 12 to 15 million black people bought from Africa in bondage in the bottom of those fucking ships, chained, beaten, torn from families, stolen identity. I mean, the Holocaust only lasted, 3 or 4 years? I don't know how long the Holocaust lasted. Let me see. That's why I got Google. It says 12 years. From 1933 to 1945, it says. And their Holocaust was a lot shorter than ours, but they get more respect today. It says that I guess the first slaves came over here in 1619, and it said it lasts for about 246 to 250 years. But whenever we get told about our oppression, whenever we try to share the systemic societal oppression throughout history that we're in, Whenever we try to tell the story, people try to silence us and tell us that what we're saying. And it's funny because years ago we used to talk about criminality in the black community, parenthood in the black community, why people are the way they are as far as boisterous and loud, why certain things happen in our community. And every time I would try to relate it to economics, every time I would try to relate it to the government's responsibility to fix these communities, people would stop me and tell me that the government don't have anything to do with it because they're ignorant. They're ignorant to how societies operate. Because it was the government for 250 years that sanctioned these horrific acts against Africans. It was the government that wrote legislation so the white savage can own other people. It was the government that killed babies, black babies, that lynched us up from poplar trees, stole our fucking names, raped our ancestors. That was the government. Burned down our cities. It's the government and the systemic way that they oppress black people for the reason and the conditions and the economics that exist today. That was the government. So whenever you're trying to have a conversation in modern time about how to fix the black community, you can't have that conversation unless you include the government's responsibility. Because if you flipped it on its head, right? Starting in 1619, for white people, it was the white people who profited off of slavery. It was the white people who started the stock market off of black bodies. It was the white people who got free labor off of slavery, came the world's leading economy off of our ancestors and picking cotton and tobacco and turpentine. So in 1619, when they started using us for economics and building their wealth, it carries over to today. That's how you look at your Wall Streets and your big old shipping companies and all your big old banks. You see, that shit run parallel. So as they was progressing and making money, we don't hear people say not to relate that to history and how they came into getting all of these resources. But soon as we remind you of how you got there and how we got here, oh, you need to start talking about that. You know, your story is not relevant related to history. And that's the whole fucking stupid ass dichotomy that I have when I'm talking to people about our situation in the black community. You know, and unless we could get down on that level and have that conversation and talk about the government responsibility about our economics and how to fix it, then we're just going to be stuck in this fucking goddamn place that we're at forever and ever. And it's designed that way. It's designed that way. I think we're 13% of the population in 2026. I think we're around 13%. I ain't looked up the demographics, but I do know that I looked it up a while back, and black people were um, in the slavery time, like 19% of the population, and it went down to 13%, and it stayed there, right? And then when I was looking up the demographics at the time, I remember Hispanics, or I don't know what you would call them. I don't want to Latinos or whatever. And it was around 8% of the population. And I haven't looked it up. I could Google it, but I'm pretty sure that the Hispanic population and demographics have is now exceeding ours, or it's right along with ours, right? And I'm saying all of that to say there's something going on when it comes to black people in this country and us not being able to get to be no more than 13% of the population for such a long time. Now you can look at the medical industry. They allow us to die. They allow us to be in pain. They don't give us medicine. They lock us up in prison. They execute us in the streets at the hands of the police officers. You know, that whenever we have problems in our community, whenever childhood illnesses, black women having pregnancies, they die more than anybody else on the goddamn planet. There's a system here to keep us at 13%. You know, I know they crying about their numbers declining and all that kind of shit, but it kind of bothers me to know that. Let me see what the demographics is. It kind of bothers me to know that, yeah, well, goddamn, let me share this with y'all. Let me see if that pops up there. Yeah, there it is. That's crazy. If y'all look at the damn screen, you can see that white people are 56 to 58%. That went up because it was 46. Hispanic people are 19 to 20%, right? And then here we are, the same thing that I was talking about 10 years ago. Black people are at 13%. I'm just wondering, why is that number stuck on 13%? Something is going on in this country for these numbers to remain at 13% for so long. Because like I said, when I first started talking about demographics in this country, the Hispanics were at like 8, 9, 10%. And that was 10 years ago. And now here we are in 2026, they're at 19%. Now I don't know what the fuck they talking about white people are dying up, because the white people were at 46%, now they're at 56%. So I don't know what the hell they talking about. And I don't, I know these numbers are what it is. These are statistics, and they probably go off the census and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, generally, whenever you look at these demographics, and spot check them, they're changing. But the black people are staying the same. Why is that? There's something going on in this country. And it's related to the oppression, the systematic abuse of black people, and our own ignorance. Like I said, you got Jesus on one hand, and then you got black people in the community that are black prophets that are stealing from us on the other hand. And then you got black people in the community that want to be white adjacent, that holds us down. You got the whole medical industry that don't take care of our health. You got the resources. We live in areas that poison us. There's the low income community that we live in are not healthy. You know, there's a number of factors why black people aren't thriving in this country like they should be. Because I know we have babies, you know, and I know, I'm just saying that we should be more than this right here. That's all I'm saying. So, having said, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. What the hell was I talking about? Having said all of that, you know, dealing with these politics in the United States of America, this is just a continuation of what black people have already been going through. There is nothing changed, no matter how many people say that America is not racist. America was found on racism. They used racism to benefit themselves and oppress us. This is the way America has always been. And there's a lot of us got fooled through the years by saying, you know, look at me, I can get a good job, I can be on TV, I can throw a football, I can be rich. You know, a lot of us got fooled with black celebrities and black famous people and black politicians actually making it, if you will, but they haven't made anything. And under the notion that somehow or another that everybody else can do the same thing. No, it's going to have to be a systemic change. It has to be government intervention. It's going to have to be something that we're not even having a conversation about to change the conditions of black America. You know. But they got the damn fools and the coons out here blaming black people. You know, Sarge comes on here and constantly repeat those FBI statistics about how murderous black people are. How murderous black people are. We are the highest percentage of murder against white people and all this. All that shit is bullshit. All that shit is bullshit. The highest rate of convictions. Let me see something. And we watch these people in the United States commit these crimes. We watch these people commit these crimes and not get charged for it. The White House right now are committing felonies after felonies, fraud, all kinds of fucking white collar crimes are going on up there in the White House right now. And there is not one of those people on the statistics. And the reason that I say, I had to Google it first. The reason that I say that Sarge's statistics are fucked up is because if we're getting the highest charges and getting charged with all kinds of crimes and all that kind of bullshit, right? I want you to look at this stat right here of who has the highest amount of exonerations. And black Americans represent a racial group with the highest number of exonerations in the United States of America. What does that mean? Why do we have the highest number of exoneration? Here's the definition of exoneration. Exoneration is the official legal clearing of a person's name from guilt or blame or wrongful conviction. Wrongful conviction. So if one stat is saying, and they're maintaining that stat is black people are charged with murder and charged with this and why the fuck is black people name cleared more than anybody else. So you can't count those fucking stats. Black person is the racial group with the highest number of exonerations in the United States of America, accounting for all of the documented exonerations since 1989. Research showed that black individuals are disproportionately affected by wrongful convictions and are approximately 7 times more likely to be falsely convicted of serious crimes than white individuals. It says black exonerees consistently make up 52 to 60% of all wrongful convictions overturned annually. 50 to 60% of wrongful convictions that are overturned every year. So whenever y'all talking about how criminal black people are, you're using the white man's narrative to incriminate those people that got trumped up charges or just got thrown in the prison industrial complex. Whew. All right, so it said the drug crime, the racial disparity is most stark in drug-related crimes, where black people are approximately 19 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted than white individuals, despite the similar rate of drug use. Even that narrative is bullshit. I live down here at Myrtle Beach. These motherfuckers are dope heads, pot heads, but there's no police down here to watch these motherfuckers engage in drugs. So when they say at a similar rate, I think it's higher in the white community. I guarantee you that when that report came out years ago about how much drugs was passed around the White House, that didn't get put on no goddamn stat. The next one says homicides and sexual assault. Black Americans are 7 times more likely to be falsely convicted of murder and 8 times more likely to be convicted of sexual assault compared to white individuals. So, I mean, that stuff just popped up in my head whenever these stats come up. And people don't want to address, and what I just shared with you is part of the systemic problem that the government needs to address, right? If you're not locking us up, we can hold a job. If you're not locking us up and charging us with fucking charges, it won't be on our resume. That's a government problem. If you're not over policing our communities and making up fucking charges, it'd be easier for us to raise our families and stay in our neighborhoods. That's a government problem. That's a government problem. We don't have shit to do with the KKK wearing badges. We ain't got no control over the KKK wearing badges and over policing our neighborhoods and watching our little black kids go down the street and pull them over and stop and frisk them. And then, of course, the little kid is mad and upset and all that. All of a sudden, that becomes a fucking charge. Get them motherfuckers out of our neighborhood. You see, that's a government problem. And when I say the government needs to solve stuff, people automatically jump to the government needs to provide money for black people. That's in the conversation too. But there's a whole lot of levels that need to be addressed by the government in order for the black community to be successful and thrive. You have to address the fucking education in our communities. Like I said, you have to address the medical help in our communities. You have to address the resources in our community. There's so many things, there's so many levels that need to be addressed by the damn government that we can sit up here and complain all day long, and it's not going to do anything until the government does what the fuck it does. Why am I talking about the government needs to step in for black people? So you seen the KKK take over the White House when Donald Trump got elected. And the KKK under Donald Trump's administration reached out to white people. You see what I'm saying? The KKK, even though they was criminals on videotape on January the 6th, breaking the fucking law, the KKK released the white people. The government did that. There was a criminal named Tina Peters that we seen on videotape allowing people into the voting facility to cheat in the goddamn election, and she went to jail for it. But the KKK, they got that fucking racist ass piece of shit released. I think her name was Tina Peters. Yeah, that was her. And the KKK so deep, check this out. The KKK runs so deep that the governor in charge of the state that pardoned her is a Democrat. What does that mean? That means that the political party that the black people most support has people that are against us in that same political party. Which is why, I always say, I know it's not going to happen, but we need our own politics. We need our own party. Or somehow or another, the black agenda needs to take over the Democrat Party. I watch these leftist YouTubers on YouTube talking about politics. And whenever it comes to the black conversation, they avoid it like the plague. They're getting a lot of views with leftist white people and all of that, but they stay the fuck away from black politics as far as they can. There's this dude named Hassan Piker that is a darling on the left. And everybody loves this guy, Hassan Piker, because he's anti-Israel and he's supposed to be a progressive and all of this kind of shit. But I guess he was on a live one time and he clearly expressed his views about black politics. And I wish I had that clip. And let me, I'll just say it like this right here. That he's not a friend. Let me see if this is
You're
it.
like, wow, this guy's really anti-black. Like
when we talked about having you on the program, one of the first videos we got from our audience, because we have a significant black listening audience, was that you're anti-black.
When it comes to black folks, you really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk?
Okay, so I'll download this audio and let y'all hear it. But this is supposed to be the darling of the left. You know, everybody likes what Hassan Piker is saying, and you ain't got but one time with me. That's all you got with me. That's all you got with me. So while they claiming that that's a standard for the left, and he's a Democrat, you can already see that there's no way that this guy got any interest for black people based off of what he is saying in these audios. Oh, here we go. So these are the part of the social media and the left that they want black people to get behind these ideas. You know. So here, listen to this guy.
And if you clip it out of context, you're like, wow, this guy's really anti-black. Like
When we talked about having you on the program, one of the first videos we got from our audience, because we have a significant black listening audience, was that you're anti-black.
When it comes to black folks, you really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock, okay? You stupid fucking radlib. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my chat. And you immediately got root.com article regurgitators in here instantly being like, sweetie, you don't understand black people. Shut the fuck up. God damn. That attitude left a long fucking time ago. It doesn't work, okay? Keep advocating for your own fucking demise then.
And you're not a safe space for black people. So
And all these other clips are usually someone coming in and doing standpoint epistemology to be like, well, as a black person, which by the way, I don't even know if they are, right? Like it's just an anonymous account, but they'll be like, one of the clips that's going around is someone being like, black people really care about the border. Like black people are actually very much on board with ICE. And it was one of those things where I was like, the fuck, what are you talking about? Like, one, that's not true, and two, I don't give a fuck if like, even if it was true, I still wouldn't care.
Wouldn't affect your opinion on the border.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, I don't play by the standpoint epistemology rules of like, well, as a black person, I have this experience, I have this lived experience, and therefore, you have to listen to me defend right-wing policies that are inherently anti-black.
just because I'm black.
Yeah, exactly. So that
A singular black person, any black person, doesn't speak for all black people.
yeah,
And there are black people who do have that outlook.
yeah,
That doesn't mean that just because they're black, as you're pointing out,
Yeah.
they get to take space in your platform if you don't want them to.
And simply because they add the thing before it, well, as a black person, that means you have to stop what you're doing and be like, well, let me hear espouse your right-wing ideology then.
yeah. My policy is, if you're right-wing, if you're reactionary, if you're a fascist, or if you're a fascist collaborator, I'm gonna treat you like a fascist collaborator. It doesn't matter. Obviously, there's red lines that I won't cross. You know, I'm not gonna like say slurs. You know what I mean? But if someone comes in with like, oh, well, as a black person, I think Donald Trump is the best president, I'm gonna be like, suck my dick. Like, you know, and if you clip it.
All right, so what you see there is 3 panel members discussing leftist politics, and that conversation is basically, to me, what I hear is them discounting, or be not, I guess, yeah, kind of putting to the side the feelings of black political people. And when you first heard him talk, you heard that that sound that I hear in all white people when they talk about black people. I'm gonna play it again.
Context, you're like, wow, this guy's really anti-black. Like
When we talked about having you on the program, one of the first videos we got from our audience, because we have a significant black listening audience, was that you're anti-black.
When it comes to black folks, you really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock, okay? You stupid fucking radlib. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my chat.
And there's another audio with this guy saying some old racist shit, right? So when it comes to black politics, we don't own the social media platforms. This guy is I think he belongs to, he's friends with the young, he's kin to the Young Turk owner, Cenk Uygur. I think that's his nephew. And these guys own big ass platforms with millions of fucking subscribers. And every time black issues come up, you know, it get played down. The Young Turks, when I mentioned that, the people on there just turned goddamn racist. Anna Kasparian, she's a fucking goddamn white fucking racist now. And they build their platforms off of the suffering of black people, right? Cenk Uygur used to make a whole lot of points about black history and slavery and all that kind of bullshit. But now they're sharing stages with Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and trying to get on fucking Fox and all this kind of bullshit. They're just full of shit. It's the same old pattern is what I'm trying to say. They do the same thing that the black people in our community do. They'll come to our community, they'll pander to us, they'll lie to us, they'll take our money. These people on social media, they have black platforms or black sounding platforms, and then they'll get all these fucking views and subscribers, and then they'll start making millions of dollars, and the next thing you know, it's fuck black people. That's just been the same pattern over and over and over and over again. I'm tired of it. Who's this unknown caller?
That's me.
Hey, what's up, man?
Killing, man. What's happening?
Nothing. I'm just out here. You see, I'm just ranting about any goddamn thing.
Yeah. I figure I'm like, this nigga talking about Hassan Piker. That's what is crazy. Hassan Piker is like, he like to the left of the left. You know what I mean? So you can't, you know, he's one of them types that's, what would they call him? He's more progressive than he is like a Democrat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the way I see things, I understand that they divided the parties: conservative, liberal, progressive, and whatever they say on the right. But you're either gonna be a Democrat or a Republican. So I just put him in the Democrat category.
Okay. Man, once again, that's what I wanted to ask you. Hey, what are black politics?
Well, it's a big old mash of fucking confusion right now, to be honest with you. You know,
that's why I asked. You said black politics, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
Who said that? He said that?
No. You said something about Hassan Piker talking about black politics.
Oh, what I meant by that is our interest. Our interest when I say black politics. Well, our interest would be the medical coverage. Our interest would be something dealing with the damn mass incarceration of black people. Our interest would be access to resources, clean water in these communities like Flint. Our interest would be education. And that's just a few that I can think off the top of my head, but there's plenty of other interests in politics that we need to address. Fair wages. There's a whole bunch of shit that we need to address in our community. You know, I'm gonna write me a list down one day so I can have it with me.
Yeah. We need to make a comprehensive list, and then we need to compare it to 10 years ago, and then 20, and then 30, and then 50, and see how different they are.
Yeah.
Because them shit sounding the same.
What do you mean they sound the same?
The list is sounding the same as it did 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Because it is the same.
So somewhere, something is fucked up. And as we talk on these phone lines, we need to try to identify really what is fucked up.
What do you think black
you know,
politics would be?
Whoever giving out the free 2-piece and the biscuit. That's what we doing.
Come on, man. They stuff in our community that we need desperately housing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but who do we need to tell that to?
Yeah.
Because we've been screaming it. Listen, we got our talkers, right? We got our talkers, and they talk that talk, and we sit in the crowd and we watch on YouTube and we feel good, but we still saying the same shit in 26. So who we talk to, we need to start bringing the winners on the line. Whoever's winning in our community, we need to start bringing them on the line and figure out, really what's going on. Because I don't know if politics is what's doing it for us, man.
Well,
we see politics. Politics is taking shit that we thought we had.
Well, that's because we sitting home and we listening to people like fucking Advise Show and other motherfuckers out there telling us not to fucking vote.
Well, Tyrone, you need to delineate. You need to delineate. You need to ask for tangibles. What else they be saying? I don't know all the shit I be hearing, man. So yeah, we're confused, and like I've always said, we're still politically dumb as black people. We ain't never really been fully brought into that apparatus. I think back to what was the old girl's name? I think she was a black congresswoman or senator, maybe
Yvette
out of
Cornell?
Georgia back in the day. No. She was a senator, black lady.
Nina Turner.
Nah. Think she was out of Georgia. This one was fiery.
Stacey Abrams.
But no, Stacey never got to the office.
Who the fuck you talking about?
But this black lady was saying how she used to get pulled over or stopped by the Capitol, security every time she pulled up to the Capitol to go to work. She had her pen on her lapel like everybody else, but she would always get stopped and questioned about who she was and where she was going. Damn, man, what was her name? Somebody gonna come on here and say her name. But that's why I say I don't. Is there a time where we've been fully integrated into politics, man?
No.
Because our different shit be happening to the black people, man. Al Green, what happened to him when he tried to say a little something during Trump? He got censored.
Cynthia McKinney.
He was doing it. Yeah, there you go. Cynthia McKinney.
Cynthia McKinney was a crackpot. I'm pretty sure. Is this the same one? Yeah, that's her. Cynthia McKinney.
But what I'm saying is she used to talk about how much racism she used to deal with up there on Capitol Hill.
Well, see, that aspect I can get behind her with those conversations, but the other stuff she started saying afterwards, I mean, Jesus Christ, that lady just went way off, just went somewhere, man.
Hey, well, shit, you never know. We don't really know what's going on over there, But like I said, I don't think we politically and being politically smart, I think, don't have to do with knowing a whole bunch of shit about politics. It's just about having that plan and everybody going in the same direction.
Well,
we ain't had that yet.
Well, Big O, see, if you look at the Jewish people, if you look at white America, they have these political action committees, right? And like the Heritage Foundation, they control everything, right? We don't have that in the black community. The Jewish people got that APAC or whatever the fuck that is. We don't have that in the black community. So we don't have anybody that we can say and depend on. You're going to change these regulations. You're going to fucking you're going to make sure this shit happen for black people. We do not have that, and that's where the conversation needs to start. It needs to start with trust first. We need to have trust, because if we're going to develop an organization that's going to take on that kind of responsibility, they don't need to be no corrupt, scamming motherfuckers in charge of that piece of shit. That's a problem to build something like that. You see what I'm saying? Because every time you look around at a black organization, you got somebody reaching their hand in the cookie jar, stealing, lying to people, manipulating people. We need to start at the base, the core basics, and understand how we need to set a structure shit.
Okay. So, who we look to right now?
Well,
give us that bounce, because the old niggas is on their way out.
Well, if you want to look at an existing organization, right? Let's say the Rainbow Coalition that who had that, Jesse Jackson, or the NAACP. If you got one of those organizations that is serious about goddamn black politics and is investing, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you this: who running the NAACP right now?
I don't know right now.
Who running Rainbow Coalition?
I have no idea.
Nigga, you ain't serious.
No, but I'm just saying, I was just using those groups.
You can use whatever you want, nigga. You don't know the name of no head of nobody black nothing.
Because I'm not serious about those two organizations.
Well, there you go, nigga. We not serious about our organization.
I was just using them as an example. I was just using them as an example of how an organization that exists already, if they change what the fuck they do, they can actually focus on getting being serious about black politics in this country. But they're not. They're just there to collect goddamn money.
Yeah, but see, the NAACP, they do stuff, right? But we don't know. See, you on the periphery saying they just collect money. And that's what I think is part of the shit that's fucked up with us.
You know what? I like the NAACP.
I think you need to find the local chapter in your area and get involved. So you can come on the line next time and say, okay, they doing backpacks, they feeding people, they ain't just collecting money.
Yeah, so I'm gonna retract my stuff that I said about the NAACP, because I like that organization. I like the NAACP, and you're right. They're actually out there doing stuff, but it's not the kind of stuff that actually educate the black political climate in this country. You see what I'm saying? So they're doing what they do. So I'm not gonna say nothing about the NAACP, but I'm just saying we need a national. Go ahead.
For us, it's easy for us to always say, how come ain't nobody doing this? How come I don't see nobody doing that? Where are we supposed to look to see people doing stuff, especially if we just sitting in the house on the internet?
Well, it don't exist
yet.
A
lot of people that speak, yeah, but that's what a lot of people say. People say, oh, yeah, I never see any black organizations out there marching against black on black violence. I'd be like, you a damn lie. You a damn lie. They exist all over the place, except you just ain't out there looking. And you rather sit online and sit at home and say they don't exist just so you can stick with your canned talking point. So
yeah.
I think niggas, like you said, we need to get off the couch and really go see what's out there. Dr. Umar should have been had the school.
Well, see, the place that
you done down talked him the whole time. The Prince of Pan-Africanism. We can't do
see,
that.
All them people.
Nobody.
All them people, they're distractions. They're distractions. The Tariq Nasheeds and all of those people that FBA, that's a distraction, and it's bad because that distraction is working. We got a whole lot of fucking older people listening to that bullshit, wearing their dashikis, the meetings, and all this kind of bullshit. It's just, listen, I don't know how else to say this, but whenever you're talking American politics for black people, all of that spirituality and Jesus, that shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work to get shit done. It just ain't. You got to be about your damn business with these people. ABC said the NAACP don't do shit. Yeah, ABC they do. They handle things like voting rights, and they should have been pushing back on. I guess they did push back on this voting rights legislation. They was pushing back on the DEI bullshit. They do shit, man. They out there fighting. They on the ground doing what they supposed to do.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. We pushing back, but against who and against what? Because the shit still went the way it went. The shit still went down.
Well, you can look at it as the NAACP don't have the backing of African Americans like they used to.
Right. Who does? Who does? Who do we back?
And I think that's part of the white supremacists demonizing black organizations and black people, just like ABC in the chat room said the NAACP ain't doing shit. That somehow or another that word got out there that the NAACP ain't doing shit, you know?
Right. And where does that stem from and why? And what do we expect them to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
Those are my questions. What are we expecting? And if we ain't donating, why should we be expecting something? That's another one of the things I look at. If you ain't putting no bread in, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's another thing we don't know. We don't know what they finances is and all that kind of shit, and what they working with, and how hard can they push back, you know, based on that stuff.
Right. Shit got to get funded. We know these operations got to be funded. It don't just happen. But once again, we do politics. We don't do politics correctly, Tyrone. You just said all those PACs. You know what all those PACs do? Collect money.
But they actually
so
work.
They put money
like,
in races.
Listen, they actually
got motherfuckers on phone banks.
Listen, they work for the fucking Jews. They work for white America. The Heritage Foundation came up with that Project 2025, which is being implemented right now. And the Jews, through AIPAC, has bought out politicians, which has rolled back the voting rights and all that kind of bullshit. So, and the AIPAC has actually got the American military working for Israel. So, for them, it's working. We need to have a functioning political apparatus that we can invest in that actually gets action done. You know, and we don't have it.
Tell me this. Where I don't know, maybe somebody could look it up. Where is a predominantly black city at?
I know Baltimore is black. Maryland, I meant to say, and then Atlanta. I'm pretty sure there's different black cities across America, but those are the ones that come off the top of my head.
So those areas should be predominantly ran by black politicians, I would assume.
And that's what they fixed when they started fucking with the damn gerrymandering recently.
Now, okay, so if we don't feel like them black politicians been serving us, what is it gonna hurt? Hey, they got gerrymandered. What we gonna lose? What are we gonna lose? Is my question.
Well, we don't know.
What are black people gonna lose?
We don't know, Big O. And that's a good question. Is what has this black representation that we supposedly had been doing for us already? I guess we're gonna find out, huh?
Yeah, because motherfuckers like, oh, Clyburn gonna be gone. Clyburn. I'm like, what the fuck? What that nigga do? What'd he do? That moved the needle. I mean, I ain't saying that these cats ain't done nothing. They ain't put some legislation on the table, but you know, like we say, specifically for black folks, you know, I think that's what black people want to hear. We want to hear something targeted, you know, and as people say, oh, you can't just say black people. Well, nah, you're going to have to say it. And I think that's what the place we've come to where, no, you're going to have to say it. You're going to have to say it. So we're going to see where it goes. We gonna see, but all that we've been voting Democrat for however many elections. We ain't got no choice. We ain't got no choice. If we gonna vote, that's who's speaking to our interests, whatever those interests may be. The Republicans ain't speaking to us at all, and I don't count niggas on the internet as Republicans speaking to us.
No, they don't have to now. The Republicans don't have to pander to black people. I said this years ago. They don't have to pander to black people. They don't have to do. They don't even mention prison reform like they used to. So they don't have to now. So and we know that they're not going to do anything for black people. They lie about the HBCUs. They lie about the black unemployment. I mean, they're not doing shit for black people. They're not going to.
Right. So okay. So do we just not vote?
No. What needs to happen at this juncture is black people need to get their mind right, right? And if we're going to vote Democrat, somehow or another, we need to make these Democrat politicians put black interests first. I don't know how that can be done, but nobody mentions the black community when they're politicking. The only time they mention the black community is when they're running for office. They show up in these churches and all that kind of bullshit. You know, that's the only time they mention the black community. But once they get in Washington, D.C., well, then I seen Jasmine Crockett do it, but she's a fucking outlier. But once they get in Washington, D.C., that's it. There's no more mention of the black community.
You know, when you're in a poor neighborhood, right? What can you... It's like I can see a politician looking out into the audience wondering, what the fuck can you do for me that's going to obligate me to do any fucking thing for you?
Well, the sad truth is...
The name of the game is money. The name of the game is money.
The sad truth is those poor communities can't do shit for that politician. That's the honest truth.
Right. So that's why I say the politician come to town, he do a fish fry, he get the black vote, he got that sealed up. He go to the white folks and say something different. He go to them and talk about, I'm sure he go talk about policy and all kind of other shit. That's something I would love to see. That's something I would love to see. A black politician in just an all-white audience, what does he say compared to what he says when he's at the goddamn at the barbecue with the black constituents?
Well, you know what they say. They talk about corporate interests. They talk about their businesses. They talk about making them more money. That's what the black politicians like Tim Scott do whenever he's in a room full of white people. You know, he don't say shit about the black community. He talk about whatever's interest them. That fucking
yes, but my thing is they know how to make things move. They know what are the benefits of their cities, their towns. They know the mechanisms, but they don't go to the black neighborhood and give any of that information. And that's why I'm like, there's got to be something fucked up about the politics, because our under people, our black mayors, our black aldermen, our black city officials, either they're just accepting it, they just want to be in the room with whatever black mayor or black senator or black congressman, because I don't see the changes in the black community, and I'm like, where?
Well, you're right. The whole system is fucked up when it comes to politics, because the politicians are supposed to work for us. They supposed to pander to us, and they supposed to legislate for us. But that ain't what they're doing. They're legislating and pandering to money and corporations. That's what the hell they're doing. What's up, Sister Nobody?
So when we get out to vote, black people, all we doing is voting.
That's it.
We ain't send a nickel in.
Voting and hoping.
All right. Well, you need to start. I don't know. Somebody need to start a pack. You know what I'm saying? See if it'll pop off. And
yeah, but we ain't even there. We ain't even there yet. We ain't even there yet to have that conversation.
I guess we need to break out the platinum plan and start breaking it down again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? seeing what we can piece out of it, because we may have to start one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we basically fucked
One
in this
thing at a
country.
time.
Black people are screwed in this country. What's up, sister? Nobody.
We've been screwed. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome back from your hiatus. Welcome back.
I took 1 day off. 1 day off.
That was a lot.
What's happening? What you got?
Boy. So I agree with Big OC when he says we sound like we're in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We're still fighting for the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Clean water. We're still fighting for clean water. Ain't that some shit?
It is.
Yeah, the fact that you say it. Clean water. Water.
That's some shit.
And something to change, right? Something to change. Do y'all buy bottled water too?
I do, and I got filters on my refrigerator and under my sink.
Well, but
like
have filters on your bottled water too, because they're only required to put 1% of that water in there.
It's like how we get conditioned. How we get conditioned to just buy bottled water when we used to drink out the hose.
They scared the shit out of everybody.
You're still drinking tap water, Big OC.
Right.
They only require it to put 1% of fresh water, whatever they want to call it, spring water, fresh water, whatever they want to call it. They're only required to put 1%. The rest is tap water. So you're still drinking tap water.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's crazy.
So you chuckled.
No,
you
$4
chuckled, Tyrone. You chuckled at a broken system, but you still pushed the narrative to vote.
Because that's the only way.
It's not working.
Well, it's not working, but
it's not the only way.
What other way?
It's not the only way.
What other way?
I can't point to it. I can't say, "Hey, do it this way. This may work."
Well, the only other way is like a real revolution with manpower, bullets, and guns, and people falling. That's the only other way shit changes in history. So we know we're not going to go there. That is just not going to happen. So the only other thing we got is these politics.
Well,
or get back
we used to do mass migration. We don't even come together to do that anymore.
Well, people can't afford to move. They done got us in a way to where we live where we live and we stuck there. You know, people can't just up and leave.
The fact that we even talking about as black people, our getting fresh water shows you that nothing has changed, even with your quote unquote democracy here in America. Nothing has changed. We still want fresh water.
But see, I think our generation is doing something wrong, because when you look at the '60s, when you had the Medgar Evers and the Martin Luther Kings, and those people were actually going to combat with these white people to get regulations.
No, our generation faced one of the biggest crises here ever before in America, besides slavery, which was the drug epidemic, which was created by your governments. Your governments and your departments, they were all active in the demise of black American middle class communities.
Well, that's true. That's true, but somewhere we stopped fighting. Somewhere we stopped pushing. When these politics, like Al Sharpton got on TV, they stopped fighting. When Jesse Jackson became a millionaire, he stopped fighting. They just stopped fighting when they make it to a certain list.
You want to know what Jesse Jackson is? He didn't die an African American. He didn't die an African American.
What do you mean?
You read the description, he's not an African American. He didn't die in African. He's not described as an African American. He's described as an American.
Oh.
Not an African American.
Well, I think we gave up. We let these people have it.
No, it's too many people talking for us. That's why we speak about dividing. It's too many people talking for us, and they don't have the clear picture of the traumas that Black Americans have been through. They only see the American dream. So when you got these people on these platforms speaking who only see the American dream and only speak from that point, because guess what? They don't have history here.
That's a good point, because I'm always reminding myself of the struggle, right? Of the struggle of how we got here. But there's a lot of people don't give a damn about that struggle. There's a lot of people that say that, them people is in the past and all that kind of bullshit. But you got to pay homage to those people that got us here. And a lot of our people nowadays don't even give a shit about none of that. And white supremacy is helping them by trying to ban books, trying to tell you not to talk about slavery, trying to tell you that it don't matter now and all that kind of bullshit. And there's a lot of people falling for that shit. Uh-oh, Miss Elisa, what's happening? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tyrone. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
What's happening?
Nothing much. I see we talking about the same old stuff.
Yep.
No change. But I do agree with you, Tyrone. Like, when some people, as far as the voting, I'm not sure what else. I don't have the answer. Like, as far as what else is there to do, But we can't not vote because you're letting other people decide for you. And when other people decide for you and a lot of your people sit home and vote, we get where we're at right now and worse off predicament. Not saying anybody's going to do anything, but you can't allow your situation to get worse because you have too far to try to build back up until too far to dig yourself out the hole. Until some answers are here. I don't have the answers, but I do think we have to vote. We can't just not vote.
Well, the only other solution is revolution, and we know that ain't finna happen. So
that's not gonna happen because we don't have the numbers for that.
Yeah,
we don't have the numbers for revolution. So, and then we have to look at allies. What kind of allies do we have? Not much. So you can't let yourself fall backwards. You can't let things get completely destroyed. And just say, okay, well, just let them decide if you're just going to give up. Well, as a matter of fact, it's not just us who are screwed right now. All of the American people are screwed unless you're mega rich. Everybody's in dire straits. So we're not alone in this with what's going on. But you cannot just sit back and if that's the one thing that you got, you have to do that along with other things. You can't just do this voting, that, to keep too much slippage from happening. Do that. And I don't have the answers. What should we do? I don't know. But we can't allow things to slip further back. If somebody offers you a bone over here, take that bone. But you still have to do so much more other things. You can't. Just can't sit and let other people decide, because a lot of people did vote, even though I think that election was funky. A lot of people didn't vote. And look at the predicament that we're in now. It's the country itself. I'm not talking about democracy. We need something different than democracy. I will agree. democracy has not worked for everybody. A democracy worked for the rich. The only thing democracy did was made a lot of people feel comfortable. And so we need something different. I don't know what. So not a constitutionalist.
Well, I don't think
I don't know.
I don't think the problem is democracy. The problem is capitalism. Because if you go by
Yeah, that's
democracy,
the problem.
if you go by democracy, where the people have a choice to their leaderships and the people that they lead actually work for their constituents, then the democracy will work fine. But these people that get elected, they work for corporations, and the
Yeah,
corporations,
they don't work, they don't do anything for us.
yeah, the corporations actually are capitalists. So,
Yeah.
and they don't give a shit about the damn democracy. So
No,
whenever,
Man,
You're speaking about a broken
remember?
system. You're speaking about a broken system. Because that's exactly what's happening. And that's what's been happening for the last 20, 30 years. So who
Already
says that not voting isn't, what do you call it, revolutionary?
well, the way I'm looking at it is through like smoky glasses, hoping that the system correct itself and actually work right, you know. But like you said, it is a broken system. It's broken. But what would not voting do, Sister Nobody?
I think not voting will have
Who
us
says
back
it's
in
not
slavery.
revolutionary?
But I'm saying, what will it accomplish?
We'll be back in slavery.
You said we
right
back
back
in slavery?
Uh-huh.
If you put on the ballot,
It's not
if
still
you
have
put on the
dirty water
ballot,
there.
See, here's the problem.
Still have dirty water.
Here's the problem.
And it's gonna go through.
Here's the problem when we say not to vote, right? If voting wasn't significant, they wouldn't be running around trying to change all these districts right now and get black people out of voting. If voting wasn't significant, you know, they wouldn't have changed the Voting Rights Act. So clearly, the black vote in this country has a power. They're trying to dilute the black voting power, and whenever we say don't vote, we're just giving them permission to actually continue. We got to fight, and that's the only way we can fight is through our vote. That's it. That's the only way we can fight. You know, so even though they're diluting the black vote right now, because they are using the Supreme Court and this administration, the government, to tell black people not to vote. You remember they was doing the whole voter ID thing, trying to get black people not to come to the polls. They was fucking taking people to court in Georgia for passing out water bottles in those black voting lines. So somehow or another, white people see that black people vote is important. So we need to actually get more black people interested in voting. They wouldn't be trying to get rid of it if it wasn't.
We should have bought some politicians a long time ago and continue to buy politicians like a lot of other groups do. That's what we should have done. I mean, that's the game that's in town. That's I'm not gonna say it's the only game in town, but that's the number one game in town. And like Big OC said, if we just sit back and say we're not going to vote, all the black people withhold their vote, we will definitely be back in Jim Crow and Reconstruction. That's just how much ground we will lose. Because you need somebody, even if it's the two-faced white liberals, Democrats, the progressives, even if it's them, to stay some of that off. We can't get back to that. Because we could say, well, none of us is going to vote. We will definitely be back in Jim Crow and Reconstruction.
Well, I could.
Is it not headed that way even though you're voting? Is it not heading that way even though you're voting? So all you're doing is putting a Band-Aid on something that's broken.
But see, I was
saying it off.
No, I was asking you what would we accomplish by not voting. See, if there was a goal for people to hold their vote, say for instance, you know, you don't vote if everybody in America, black people don't vote, then the politicians say, okay, we're going to offer you this or offer you that, for your vote, then I can see that maybe that may be a reason. But they don't give a shit. They're not gonna offer you shit for not voting. What they're gonna do is send more of their people to the polls because you didn't vote, so they're gonna get what they want anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then plus our neighborhoods and our communities, we need some type of representation, because if we didn't have, like, on the local levels and the representatives that we do send to Washington, a lot of that has to do with, you take like the census and the taxes that are sent back to our district. I mean, just woe unto us. What it will look like, and because a lot of our neighborhoods, because of lack of money and lack of funding and lack of representation, look like shit. Excuse my language. But a lot of our communities do not. We have to have school. We have to have fire and rescue. We have to have fire and rescue. We have to have safety. We have to have roads. We have to have mail pickup. All of the things. So we can say we're not doing a damn thing, and they send other people, redistrict us the hell out, and send other people, our communities won't get a dime. So if there's people say, but they worry about the local level. The local level, that's voting. And the local level, you have to vote on the local level to see who the hell you're going to send to Washington. We have to. We're going to get some type of funding. We're already not funded like some of the other, a lot of our communities and things are funded like some of the other areas, and everything where we live will be like that. That's too deep of a hole to fall in. The hole is already deep, but you're going to turn it into a bottomless pit. Our voice got to be heard some way until we can figure things out.
I understand the frustration because, like we said earlier, we're still talking about the same shit that we've been talking about.
I get the
frustration. As far as money
it.
and clean water and education, and we still talking about the same shit that we've been talking about for years.
And vote Democratic too. So that's why I had got, like people said, vote down ballot. And the people say don't vote for anybody. Well, I got the down ballot, and I did that when it was safe to do in my community, when it was safe to do in my state to vote down ballot. But I voted the entire ballot last election because, let me see, did I vote? No, I voted for Biden, I did. When Hillary was running against Trump, I had the luxury to just vote down ballot, local people, and we elected a lot of good people to tangle and to wrangle with our governor to get funding and different things like that. And they did that. They did, I have to admit that. Some of the other areas, a lot of areas was left out, but for the most part, a lot of them, they wrangled with our previous governor to get funding and money and things like that. And they got them to do it. But, and I had the luxury to do that because Hillary was going to win my state. But then when Biden ran, a person who I do not like, Joseph Robinette Biden, I do not like him, never have. I voted for him because I wanted to, because Trump had to go, and that was a stance against Trump. This last election, I voted for Kamala because I wanted to, and we could not allow what got in to get in, even though she was going to win my state anyway. But I get the down ballot, but we still have to vote for representatives who we're going to send to Washington. We have to, so that they can represent us for funding and things like that. We can't just throw up our hands and say, I would like to know, by not voting and just falling into a bottomless pit, we're already in a hole. But what would the bottomless pit do? We might not have anything to grasp on to hold ourselves until we come up with some ideas. I have been saying for years, we need to buy politicians like everybody else do. But our community just never got to that. Never, for somehow wasn't able, a lot of people sat back, got comfortable. We should have bought politicians like these other groups do. Have our own PACs and things like that. And buy politicians.
Yeah, that's what Israel is doing. Israel did it so good at it. They done bought the fucking presidency. You know, until we can figure out that part on how we can get the politicians to work for us, we just gonna continually be getting screwed.
Yep. We should have bought some like other groups do. Other groups, like people say, the Asians, they do it in packs in the community. But we the only ones that sit back and get comfortable.
Tell me something. Where's the scam that of the nigga daycares like the Somalis are doing? Like they say millions. Where the niggas scam?
Mm-hmm.
Where they at? Where you know, we just I don't think we have access to any of that government capital the way that those communities do.
That's a good point.
Right? When they put that money out there, these people know where to go. They tell each other. I know we all seen that video of the Jewish man talking about how he on welfare but paying for his goddamn crib while he on Section 8. But he owning the home using the Section 8 money. I ain't never heard a nigga once in life say, yeah, I own my crib. Like, what you mean, nigga, ain't you on Section 8? Yeah, but I own this bitch, though. That's what they saying. That means they've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? And now you have a man talking about, I'm on Section 8, we using Section 8 money. I ain't seen a nigga in the black community talk about Section 8 and welfare and government money. We just don't do it. It's taboo in our community for black men to speak on Section 8 and government aid. That's just something for our women. We keep it quiet. We show up when we show up. We've been in that trick bag for a long time. Like I said, I see these Mexicans out here. I see these others out here. They man be right next to them while they swiping that goddamn card. While they swipe that EBT, he be standing right there.
Yep.
So I don't know what kind of trick bag they got us in.
Well, I don't know. Go ahead.
Sarah.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know if we're in a trick bag, or is that one of them situations where they deny black people access to those resources?
Right, because you know how easy it is, Tyrone? You know how easy it is to deny black people? Oh, hey, he's black. Don't give it to him. Fuck. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's just so easy. If we gonna figure out who we ain't gonna give it to, the black ones don't give it to them. It's easy.
Don't give it to them. But we're so trying
we gonna do it by age. No, not by age. No, not by characteristics that you can't control. That you can't control. No, we're gonna do it by black.
He's right. I saw a television show. It's one of my favorite TV shows. Well, it's finally into the series. One of my favorite, Issa Rae show. It's one of my, I can't, what was the name of that show? Came on HBO. I can't remember the name of it. One of my favorite shows. I've watched every episode. Love that show. Let me look it up. Issa Rae show. And she had gotten a job. I forgot what her degrees and everything was in. She had gotten a job. Working for, like, in an area for underprivileged kids and stuff like that. Let me see. Issa Rae show. Insecure on HBO. I love Issa Rae, her show, and she seems to have her head on straight. And one of the skits, she had gotten a job, and this is speaking to what Big Bill was saying. It's like we train like that. She got a job at, it was like an inner city Los Angeles, inner city school. I think she was doing something like social work, and they had put her in the head of this program. And the program was giving like scholarship money to like some of the underprivileged kids, the kids who really needed it the most, because the school was black and Latino. We had a sprinkle of white up in there, and she was supposed to be parceling out this money to students who really needed to take some type of training and courses that would help them ace some SATs and things to go to college and give them a leg up, like math and different things like that. And it was something with the money we were supposed to pick the ones with the kids with the best grades, and who really needed it, who their homes was really very underprivileged. And the principal of the school looked at her, was like, okay, so I know you know how to run this here thing, right? And she was like, yeah. So she was throwing the classes to get the kids ready to see who was going to apply for those little scholarship funds. And he was like, you know what to do. And he didn't wink, but he wanted to wink. And then a lot of the students she had met, because he had to sign off on it, that she sent were Latinos and some blacks too. And he denied all of the Latinos. He was like, no, because this, that. He pushed the black ones on too. And she was like, well, such and such a student, I thought this, that. He said, I asked you, did you know how to take care of the run this here thing? And she was like, yeah. So he got him shut the door and said, look, and nobody, in a sense, this is not verbatim, I'm just, talking. We are supposed to take care of our own, supposed to take care of us. Just don't send me any more of them. They have their own people, their own things, their own this, that. We are supposed to be here to push ours. And she felt some kind of way because she felt that they should be able to take advantage of it too. Some of all the people, the Latinos, the Filipinos and stuff, but he was interested in helping our own. Mm-hmm. And when he looked at her in the face, he thought she understood. And to end all of this, it was a very interesting episode. And she ended up kind of like reporting this shit, excuse my language, because this show made me upset, like to the Board of Ed and this and that. This is what was going on because she said, we got to do the right thing. We got to do the right, and we have to be the right. They didn't do anything to him because he talked his way out of it, because he was like slick, just that. But basically, from what she was doing, it opened it up where, in my opinion, it was going to be more of others going than our kids. And that leads into what Big Will was saying. We don't look up. Now, if that was something for, say, it's not some real kids or other kids, they wouldn't have given us a damn thing, and they wouldn't have thought about it. And I think that's why she did that episode, to give people something, because I was in a group and everybody discussed it. I think they did that episode. She did what was the right thing. I mean, what was the right thing in a fair, balanced society? She did the right thing. But I think they did that episode to get people to talking. Like, what would you do? What would you have done? What would you do? What would you have done? And that speaks to what Big Will is saying. It's just like we always feel as though, because of where we come from and all this, that, so on and so forth, that we always got to do the right thing. We got to do the right. We got to do the right when nobody else does. Hardly anybody else does. Mm-hmm. I would say nobody. Let me take that back. But the majority of other people, they don't. They look out for their own. And I remember it was so much conversation about that episode. What would you do? What would you do? I would like to think I would have done the right thing. I would like to think if I was in that position, I would do the right thing. But I know good goddamn well, 95% 97% would be my own that I pushed through that thing to get them that leg up. I'm sorry.
Well, you're
I'm
right.
sorry.
I mean, you watching it play out right there in the White House. All of those people in Washington are disqualified to hold whatever position they in. Pete Hegseth is disqualified.
Nah.
Pam Bondi was disqualified. The new Attorney General is disqualified. So they just giving them a leg up just by helping them because they white.
Hold up. When you want to talk about disqualified, if you want to talk about, see, the other one, we can at least say, okay, there was an attorney. Okay, he was in the Army. What about the motherfucker he trying to put as DNI, acting DNI? The motherfucking home builder, motherfucker Pulte.
I think I seen something about that guy, and they were saying that he was doing, what was he, a plumber or something?
No, Pulte. Hold on, let me look. He used to be over a different department. Bill Pulte, Trump's least experienced cabinet pick.
Yeah, I know that they said that there's a whole lot of stuff that there's something ain't right with that guy. But yeah, you're right. That's the point that Elisa made, is that they just
federal housing. He was over the Federal Housing Finance Agency.
Yeah.
But that's what they do, is they promote their own. We don't do that.
We don't.
And remember,
we don't.
He comes from. He's from. You ever heard of Pulte Home?
No.
No. They're big. Look it up real quick. Pulte Homes. They're big home builders, and that's his last name, Pulte. That's where he comes from.
Oh, okay. So he was in construction or whatever.
No, he's only 38. He comes from construction.
Okay. But he don't have no experience, is what you're saying, right?
Nah.
But that's what they do.
That's what they do.
So
but we always
putting this dude in charge of the secrets
of the national intelligence. Yeah, see, that's what.
It's just like, y'all heard what was going on with the reflecting pool in D.C.
I know it's a bunch of
keeping
mess.
up with that. Yeah, it's a big bunch of mess, and then he wanted the blue and all of this money, and some plumbing, some kind of plumbing company or whatever. I'm not gonna look it up. Everybody can look it up if they so choose. Who had never done that type of work before. And when it comes to government contracts, you're supposed to have bidding. And it was a no-bid contract. People found out that this guy knew Trump from, one of his biggest supporters. He got the contract. It was supposed to be, I don't know, the money's involved. I'll pull up an article in a little bit. I don't have my glasses. I got to go to the other room to get them. And now, the little bit amount of money that they were saying it was going to cost, that thing has, what they're going to end up getting is, let me look it up. Hold on. I could probably read it. And all that is just giving money to, giving money to his cronies. Let me see the reflecting pool. I'll tell you how much it has gone. Reflecting pool in D.C. Here it is. And bid. And they, of course, they just did whatever they wanted to. They're supposed to be bidding and things like that. Okay. They said that the contract was supposed to be project costs escalated. Promised repairs and pay job will cost $1.5 million, then it went to $1.8 million. Now they're saying they need $13 million. It's just the staff is
Yeah, it's another scam. It's another scam.
It's just a scam.
That
They didn't fix
dude,
it.
that dude gonna get that
They didn't
contract.
fix it right.
He gonna get that contract, get $13 million, and probably a bunch of that money gonna go directly to Donald Trump. That's probably what's gonna happen.
That's all it is. Because the bulk of the work that they did so far, they said it was some leaking going around, but they could have hired somebody to come in and fix that.
I can't get over the fact that he drove a goddamn bulldozer through the fucking White House. I don't think nobody saying that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy, and now he's fucking taking all this money for this reflecting pool. That's nuts to me. All of these people that were trying to save the Confederate statues because of heritage and the history of America, they didn't want them statues gone, but they don't give a fuck about him bulldozing the goddamn White House. That's crazy.
And y'all seen the pictures? I haven't been down there in a while, but I don't want to go over there. All that stuff they building up out there that's supposed to be for that fighting thing. What is it, UFC or whatever that is, wrestling thing that he's gonna be doing.
That is crazy.
He's talking about leaving all that stuff. UFC, that's what it is. And he's talking about leaving all that construction because it looks good. I mean, the White House looks like a circus.
It's just crazy. It's like a construction site. It's crazy to me because all I can think about is how much they said Barack Obama and Michelle was fucking up the White House. That's what they were saying. They destroying the White House. They destroying this. They destroying that. And this motherfucker just ripping the shit down. I guess that's white privilege, huh?
You see what the White House look like? Like a circus, like a carnival. All that stuff he got built up. And he's saying that he's thinking he's gonna leave that the way it is. Tyrone, if you was to pull it up and put it on the screen, you'll see. So that he said the other day that he's thinking about they're just gonna leave all that stuff they built up. And Barack wanted a basketball court over one of the tennis courts. So they overlaid the tennis court. They didn't do anything. One of the tennis courts, and I don't know if he paid for it or people donated. It didn't cost much. And they put the basketball court. And they did it in a way so when they were leaving, they had it reverted back. He paid for that. Reverted back to a basketball court. And this mess that they do, all that stuff they had built up, it looked like a carnival. It looks just like a carnival, all that stuff they building up. I don't know if y'all looked at the pictures from the White House lately. It looks like a carnival. And he's saying that he's going to thinking about leaving all that. And it's just one big old tore down, dusty looking tore mess. So,
man,
I don't know.
Trump is filming a movie. That motherfucker's filming a movie. He got to get the set right. There's going to be a point where everything in the White House is done and he can film his movie the way he really want to film it. With the plane, the big plane going to be done, getting remodeled, and he going to have it all straight. It's just a matter of time.
I think it's more to it. I think that man ain't never planned. I don't think he never planned on leaving that damn building. I really don't. And he's talking about this ballroom where where he's digging 6 stories into the ground and all of this kind of bullshit. I think that who would fucking do that type of construction and move out? That man ain't trying to move out that damn place. And that's why he promised
Trump knows how to spend other people's money.
That's why he promised these J6ers this money. That's why he wanting ICE so he can have his own military. I think that man ain't going no goddamn well.
Nah, he going. If the assassination was true, 3 motherfucking wobbly hands. That's all that was. All you need is one real shooter. He would have been out of here.
Man, all that shit was fake. Every attempt on that man's life was bullshit. All that shit was fake. They want no attempt on that man's life.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. Because if it was, that would never leave the news.
No, we'll be talking about it now.
Even if it's one time.
Yeah.
Even if it was one time, but it just so happened it was three different attempts. So, and that shit is no longer in the news cycle, been long gone. That's what tells me that shit was all fraudulent. And plus, we never got all the information. We still ain't seen the records from the hospital of the ear.
Well, they got pictures of his ear now, and it is not damaged. There ain't nothing happened to that man's ear.
Yeah. There ain't no scratch on it. It looks perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we like I said, I need to see some records and shit. You know, maybe the next president will unseal them shits or bring that shit out. Because whoever the next president is, he's gonna have a lot of shit to put on the table. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell y'all mark my words. Donald Trump is not leaving the White House. He is not.
Oh no, he's leaving. No, he's leaving.
Donald Trump ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
Why would
He can't be investigated by the IRS anymore. He gonna pardon. He gonna make sure everybody got a pardon. He's out of there. Fuck you mean?
He's
Can't be investigated. Nobody in my family can be investigated. Trump's setting up all kind of deals right now to line the family
You see
up.
it? He's setting it all up.
Well, y'all, listen to what I'm saying now. I'm trying to tell you. He got his military. He got ICE. He got these damn J6s all pumped up, promising them that damn fake ass money that he ain't gonna give them.
Falling asleep in meetings. He's out of here.
Well, I told y'all 2 weeks ago that it's not about giving them any money because they look like they're staying in the water. It was about the tax thing.
Yeah, because he made a deal and he tried to.
From here on out.
Yeah.
From
Yeah, you're
here
right.
on out,
he made that deal and
fucked up.
and his deal was not for the IRS to fuck with his family, and he give up the damn J6
That's what that
money.
was about.
He'd give up the J6 money.
That's what that was always about. It was not about getting any money because that's basically dead in the water. So they're not getting any money.
And the sad thing is he knew how stupid these goddamn people was to believe it. You know, he know his damn base. He know them motherfuckers is just as dumb as a box of rocks.
Because he knew that the House and the Senate was not going to allow that. And all the lawsuits that it was about the taxes. That's what it was always about. He wasn't concerned with giving them nothing.
And that's illegal. Can't nobody be barred from being from the IRS? Who the fuck? What country do we live in?
That's what it is. But he doesn't know how to do all of these things.
Well, we clearly know what could be done now. So whoever the next president is, you clearly see what could be done.
What I'm saying is the next president
from your business and all that. Don't even bring up none of that shit.
Well, the next president most likely gonna try to follow the law. The next president most likely gonna try to follow the law, but this motherfucker is breaking the law. Every fucking decision he make is illegal, and my problem is why the fuck ain't nobody doing anything about it? He just all these wars. Venezuela was illegal. Him shooting them damn fishing boats down there is illegal. Him going to Iran is illegal.
What can they do, Tyrone? Hey, listen, shooting them fishing boats, those must have been legal orders. Because they say y'all ain't supposed to obey no illegal orders.
Well, he gave an illegal order, and they follow illegal orders. All that shit was illegal, man.
Well, yeah, I can't tell.
Him making money off of these damn fucking cell phones or Bitcoins and he's bidding on the stock market and manipulate all that shit is against the goddamn law. But the Supreme Court. Go ahead. The Supreme Court gave him an out. The Supreme Court gave him an out with that fucking immunity, saying whatever he do in the office, he's supposed to be immune from. So he's just doing every goddamn thing.
Yeah, hopefully the next people do it too.
Oh, and it was found out, like I said earlier on, that Melania is a fucking hoe.
I think most people kind of figured that out.
I've been saying that that's a mail order bride, and that girl down there in wherever the fuck she at, Costa Rica, she telling every goddamn thing. These motherfucking family values and Christians, they got a fucking hoe as a first lady.
Are we surprised?
I'm not.
I used to hear we used to hear back when we was young that you don't wife up I don't like the word whore, but you ain't supposed to wife up a whore. But that shows you how much sense Donald Trump got. He did.
Well, that's what them rich people do. You know, whenever they go buy these wives and all this kind of bullshit, you know, I guess they put them up there for auction or whatever. I don't know how the hell they do it. They ain't got that kind of money. But that's what the hell they do. They go buy these damn foreign wives and all this kind of shit. For what? I don't know. She looked like a goddamn a squinting penguin. That's an ugly ass lady.
Yeah, I'm doing something right now.
But they said that lady, that man, Palbino or whoever he is, he's like a pimp. And he had all these girls. And Melania was one of them. Where the hell
Well,
is
the word?
Huh?
The word was that she was, the word was allegedly that she was Jeffrey Epstein's, you know, one of his pieces.
Yeah.
And then introduced to Trump. And that's why when the war first broke out and she came, Trump and her behind out. Remember they gave that announcement about I have not known Jeffrey Epstein. And people was like, what the hell is that all about? Because that woman was over there running her
She was trying to get out. She was trying to get ahead of that girl that they got locked up by ICE. That girl, and I don't trust her neither because she was a fucking one of them. But she got locked up by ICE and they showed her they ass to kiss and she like, I'm gonna tell every damn thing. Tell it, I'll listen.
Cause she out for revenge, and nobody was like, we supposed to be talking about the war, and y'all sitting up here talking about Melania, talking about this, all of the lies about the Jeffrey Epstein. And I did not know, you know, people was like, what is that about? And I remember when that happened, everybody was like, wait on it. We'll find out what that was about. And we showed did find out what it was about. She said she's trying to get ahead of something. And that's all that was. She's trying to get ahead of something. And she got ahead. She's trying to get, and it didn't work because that woman has not stopped running her mouth. And because she's out for revenge.
She's pissed. I would be pissed too. I mean, she got locked up. She got deported and locked up by ICE, and her friends, her rich ass friends, didn't do nothing but let her sit there. So she pissed.
They ain't do nothing. And her ex-husband, it just show you how stupid he is. He was supposed to let whatever that is ride that they had going on. But no, he tried that. So it was just crazy. Y'all think y'all could just do anything? He know that she know all this information, and he's like, well, this is my chance to get her and to get my son. He was just supposed to just kind of let that ride. But that shows you how much sense he had.
Yeah, and that makes her double mad because that's her child, and you make a mother mad, and she just pissed off. You gonna take my damn child?
And they had her sitting up in detention all that time, and Melania sitting up there tracing around, knowing you just as much of a whore as I am, you know, and you tracing around like you somebody. And from according to what she's saying, she had put out a call. Well, I need some help. Can you do something? And she was ignored. She was like, okay, that's all right. That's all right. And you know how when women they turn catty? That's all right. I asked you for help, and you sat here and you ignored me. Oh no. And so that's just say nothing like when a woman gets scorned, she will fix you. And that's what's going on now.
Yeah, where all these
And
damn
Elon Musk, go ahead.
where all these damn family value Christians at? You know, knowing that now that they know that Melania is a damn, what they call them, a 304.
That's what you call it. But those people, they knew that. They knew that. It was kind of obvious that she was. Y'all keep talking about mail order. She wasn't no mail order bride. Melania Trump was a comfort woman, and I don't know why y'all keep. And I'm being nice. She was a comfort woman. And that's why I don't know why y'all kept saying mail order. This woman wasn't no mail order. She didn't come over here to get married. She came over here to do just what they do, escort. That's all she was, escort.
Well,
She wasn't no mail order.
A 304 is a 304. I mean, I don't know. She whether through the mail or through Palvoni or whatever his name is, she's still a hoe.
Yeah, but not all mail orders are escorts. She was an escort.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. She was an escort. That's why I kept saying, y'all taking the stink off of that. Melania is an escort. That's what she came over here to do, escort. And she done pissed that woman off and wanted to pass around escorts. That's all she ever was. She wasn't a mail order bride. The mail orders, they looking for men to marry them and all of that. That's not what Melania was about. That's not what she was about. And Trump, he married one and he married that. So, she was an escort.
Well, either way,
oh yeah,
she shouldn't be the goddamn first lady. You were getting ready to say something about Elon Musk's girlfriend?
Yeah, she doing the same thing. She out there telling all his business. Did you hear the interview that she gave? I mean, because she's been not interview. She's been all over. And she basically co-signed what everybody was saying about that election. Have you been keeping up with that?
I heard it the other week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She basically co-signed that.
Well, I wish she would have some evidence, some proof or something like that. She need to, I don't know. They need to stop hiding shit and actually come out there with all.
She just telling just enough, but you have to remember, them people scared of retribution too. So she just tells just enough to go, what y'all thought of, say stuff like, what y'all thought about that election.
Yeah.
That type of stuff is true. That's the type of stuff. What people think about that election, how he was able to rig that election, and that. It's true. That type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. But if you say you got some information about it, we can kind of guess that. But if you got some information, she says she do, well then how about share it? Share it.
Yeah, put it out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Put it out there.
You know what I think, going on in this White House? Ain't no high-level conversations really going on.
No, of course not.
I think all these rich motherfuckers get home and they tell their old ladies, man, this stupid motherfucker, I'm going to get everything I'm looking for. Watch tomorrow. We're going to have Teslas on the White House lawn.
You absolutely, that's the attitude that's up there right now. You're right. You absolutely right. I agree with you 100%.
The people are like, man, this stupid motherfucker over here, man. Let's just pull up. It's just 4 years. Hey, let's just get all we can because that's just what it looks like. It looks just like a free-for-all for if you got billions, then your ass better jump on board if you somebody that has a business or you're selling any type of influence or you're one of those motherfuckers that likes to be in the spotlight. You better jump on board because the light ain't gonna get no brighter. I'm really gonna telegraph shit, right? I'm really gonna say, y'all should buy some Dell computers because Dell is good.
That's exactly what's going on,
with it what you
Big
will.
OC.
Do with it what you will.
Them motherfuckers don't give a
Talk about
damn.
telegraphing, exactly. I'm gonna telegraph it to you when I say it. Just get to it. We look at these particular companies, and we done watch them make a caboose worth of money, right? But we so still even financially, even investment-wise, we still so infantile with it. We ain't trying to put our little $100 in nothing. We need our $100. You know, we need our little $100. We just so much information that we still missing. These are the type of plays where you would say, yeah, what political action group that's up there fucking with them, running plays right along with them? Oh, okay, he said that. Okay, hey, y'all dubbed $6 million in this right here.
Yep. That's all they doing, man. There ain't
So
nobody
just
in
the
that.
whole game.
There ain't
They
nobody
got no
in
money to
Washington.
play it right.
So we need to stop pretending like they give a fuck about these people. They don't give a shit. Nobody up there gives a shit about what's going on.
Those people need to stop thinking that they give a shit. Because you heard about what Ivanka and Jared is doing. They over there trying to develop a $1.4 billion luxury resort in the Shazan Island. Y'all heard about that?
Yeah, they said they're calling it another Epstein Island.
And it was a protected island owned by the Albanian people. But not at Greece and everybody, because I guess they're like neighboring to it. They're trying to build that up for all the oligarchs, rich freaks and frauds and all of them to come do their thing. But the company that they're trying to, I think that money was coming out of, wait a minute. And I was glad to hear this. They said, we ain't doing this. It's just about
well, yeah, I seen
about their
protesting. I seen about their protesting that shit, and they should. Because of what they doing, I guess they're trying to build a place for after Trump's presidency where they need to go run away to.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's going to go through because they were able to seize, because these different governments and stuff is over there in these different groups. They have since seized all of their bank accounts, and because what the prime minister or president, whatever they call him there, he behind their back changed the laws so he could be able to, they could just buy the thing. But they have all of their funds and everything. And I think it's Qatar. I don't know if it's Qatar. It's one of those countries over there where they're getting it back and stuff from. To do that, all of that has been seized quickly. And they said they must have really found fraud in the company and stuff behind that. I don't think they're going to be able to pull that one off, because some people ain't playing. They're not playing. They just let them burn the prime minister's house down. They doing more.
They need to raise
more than
hell.
just protesting.
They need to raise hell over
action. They done got all that stuff seized up. They can't. The monies in them accounts and stuff cannot be moved. They have found fraud in the way how this whole thing, licensing, everything went down. I think Ivanka and her husband, I think they're going to probably back off on that.
They need to raise hell over there. Because the United States is weak as shit. This country is weak. We let these people get away with any motherfucking thing.
Anything. But them people over there said, no, this is not happening. They jumped to it. They hit the courts, and the president over there, he the one was trying to help them because he's been bought out by the administration to help them to be able to do it. And them people's like, no, this is not happening. So I don't think they're going to be able to pull that one off, because they done got too many people on these European countries, and Greece that raised their head. And then when they had announced that the funds that the company was going to be using were seized, said, oh, them people ain't playing. They're not playing. They was like, y'all come over here with y'all American nastiness. Not here.
They looking for an escape. They looking for somewhere to go after this damn administration. Cause this ain't right. What Donald Trump is doing after he if he leaves office, they gonna break it down on how corrupt and how many damn laws this man broke while he was in office.
The corruption is off the chain so much that we can't, because it's just be something new. You hear about this corruption, this stealing, this every day, and it's hard to keep up with all that stuff. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with it. But I also blame the Democrats because all of them was taking corporate money and doing their own thing too. So,
well, yeah, you right. I was thinking the other day that this shit just didn't happen overnight, right? All the damn corporations, everything, Nancy Pelosi on back, all them people that's allowing the corporations to do this and get more power, more and more power. This shit build up over time, and now the corporations think they can't be goddamn touched. That damn Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, you can't touch them folks. Elon Musk, you can't touch them folks.
And Schumer is another one. He's afraid that if the Democrats take control of the Senate, that they're not going to allow him to be Senate Majority Leader. They're not, and he shouldn't.
Because he's a shield for Israel. Schumer is full of shit.
Yeah, so Schumer's in bad shape. And Hakeem Jeffries, and what's the one from out of Chicago? Him too. The bald-headed guy that got his he just got him a beard wife. I cannot think of his name. Him too. They shield for them.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell they. I mean, I see it happening, but they let Israel just take over the American government. Israel. I heard the other day that somehow our militaries are supposed to get intertwined or some bullshit, and that's just wrong.
It's not to be any kind of thing. Did you have people? And yes, Sarge, I'm talking about you. You have got to see this corruption. You have got to see it. You got to see all this corruption. I don't see how anybody. You can't make excuses for this. I understand how some people are going to be loyal to the drains. If somebody pulls the drains, they're going to be loyal. But you have got to see this corruption. All this corruption just doing whatever. I don't get how people just don't see this corruption.
If you're talking about Sarge is a cultist. There's nothing that you can say to an individual like that to convince him of anything that makes sense. He just, he gone. He worse than Donald Trump.
You got to see this corruption. You have to. How could you not see this corruption? That's the thing I don't get. And some of the people, they see the corruption, but they don't care. That's one thing. Long as you can be racist and hold other people back, some people just don't care. And Clarence Thomas, I saw somebody had did a short docu on Clarence Thomas. You can't get no more corrupt than him. And the thing is, they were working on Clarence. Clarence was somebody. He was like what they call the slow game. The Heritage Foundation and them people. They did the slow game with Clarence Thomas. That was slow game, how they did that. And when the time came, the sad thing is, the time came is when Thurgood was going to retire because his health was bad. So they was like, okay, now we got him sitting over here primed and ready. And George H. Bush did what they asked him to do. They put him in there. They was priming Clarence Thomas for years. For years.
Well, it looked like they're not going to integrate no more. It says pro-Israel went out to kill bill to stop the U.S.-Israel military integration. But this was serious, and when did this come out? This came out on the 4th. So earlier this week, they were talking about integrating the U.S. and Israel military. That is sick. That's crazy.
That's sick. It's sick, and it's crazy. And for Stars, if you listen, You have got to see this corruption. You've got to see all this corruption
He don't see it.
that's going on.
You talking to a brick wall. Sarge is one of the most dumbest. I don't know what the hell wrong with that man. Him and ABC.
I think he's got, well, ABC, I don't think he cares about either of the sides. But Sarge, Sarge has got to see this corruption. But like they said, when people get caught up in this cultism, they would rather see it all fall apart, see it all mess up, than admit they were wrong.
Yeah, that's where they stuck at.
I was wrong.
They don't want to agree with the other side. Even though they driving bulldozers through the goddamn White House, they don't want to agree with the other side. Even though they putting up a goddamn wrestling arena on the front line of the goddamn White House, they gonna still agree with that bullshit.
But all you got to do is like some of the other big pundits that were MAGA, because I was watching clips from her show. I can't stand her. She was on Fox News. She left NBC.
Megan
Laura
Kelly?
Abrams. Yeah, Megan Kelly. Thank you. Did you see the clips from her show?
Well, I had it. I watching Secular Talk, and he had clips, but I was gonna play it tonight. But it was like 18 minutes long, so I didn't play it. But I seen that she was going off on him, I guess.
But do like they do. That's all you got to do. You don't have to go along with this corruption and make excuses for the corruption. All you have to do is do like how a lot of those big MAGA pundits are doing. Just don't give the lefties, the Democrats, the progressives, don't give them any credit. Just make out like you came up with that on your own. And how that's all you got to do is make out like you realize it for yourself. You don't have to say, well, the Democrats or the lefties, they were saying it all along. You don't have to do that.
He ain't finna do that. His head too far up. His head is too far up Trump's rectum. There is nowhere in the world Sarge is going to ever disagree with anything Donald Trump does. Never. That's not going to happen.
Well, you could do like Tucker Carlson and the rest of them. Just make out like you came to that conclusion yourself. Don't give any credit to the other side. Don't say, well, they have been saying it all along. You don't do that. Just pretend like you came up with it on your own. And then you don't have to be out here stomping and pretending like you don't see this corruption. You don't have to do that. You see the corruption. The only way you can't see the corruption is if you're, what's the word I'm searching for?
A coon.
If you're mentally impaired. That's the only way you don't
see the corruption. If you a coon. What's up, mama's boy?
Peace, family. I only chimed in. Good show. I only chimed in because I wanted to correct Sister Lisa. And I appreciate the goodness in her heart. I appreciate the goodness in your heart. I just want to say that before I disappoint you. Sarge was a racist cracker long before Trump showed up. So, unfortunately, Sarge don't want forgiveness or to get back in or some sort of a mulligan from the black community. Sarge hates the black community. Sarge has been old Peckerwood for 30, 40 years. So unfortunately, sister, Sarge ain't trying to do right. He's in love with his master. His master has turned him out. If you remember the 1970 phrase for a pimp turning out a hoe. Sarge been turned out. So with all due respect, my sister, I know you got a clean heart, and even for Sarge, and that shows just how clean your heart is. But some motherfuckers ain't shit you can do about it. They just gone. Sarge been one of them for a long, long time. It's been a few presidencies. So you ain't no changing that. Peace, y'all.
Well, I hope not. I just people should be able to see the corruption. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to kumbaya because I don't think anybody on this side will kumbaya with you. But you have got to see this corruption. The only way the corruption is not seen is if you're mentally impaired.
Well, he is. There's your answer right there. You got it. So your other
Sarge,
option, your other option
Sarge,
was if you're mentally impaired. So there you go. You figured it out.
Sister Lisa, Sarge it has been broken. Much like a Bronco breaks a fucking horse. Sarge has been broken, and he is so broken that if this was Jim Crow, Sarge would go get the plantation master to have sex with his new wife on their wedding day. He wouldn't wait for the master to ask. He would just take his woman in there and tell her to get a master some pussy. That's Sarge. Today. I hate to disappoint you, sister, but you got to hear the truth.
Well, I'm not going to go that far because I like Sarge. What's that cartoon? The Boondocks. What's the black dude that's on there?
Uncle Ruckus.
That he said, what was that?
Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah, what was that? What was that he said that he was suffering from? Reverse vitiligo.
Oh, hold on.
Reverse vitiligo.
Yeah, reverse vitiligo. There you go. That's exactly right.
I didn't say Sarge had that. I didn't say that, Sarge. I'm just bringing up Uncle Ruckus. No, well, I'm not saying that. I didn't bring that up to call him that. I'm just saying that Uncle Ruckus was like he had reverse vitiligo. I'm gonna have to watch that because I have the DVD, the whole season DVD. I'm gonna have to watch that too because you want a good laugh. You watch that when you just want a good laugh. Sit back and laugh.
I got Uncle Ruckus. He come on this line every night. Come on here and say, everything white is good. White is the purest form of good. Look at me, boy, don't you want to be white? That's all I hear when he come on the line. So he been Uncle Ruckus to me.
Wow. And that's Clarence Thomas. But Clarence Thomas didn't used to always be like that. I couldn't believe the documentary when he was in college, and I forgot what it was, a term that they were calling him, that he was the darkest black man in America. What was it? They called him ABC, something other color, whatever they used to call him in college in America. And he went through a lot with them white folks when he was in college with them. He did. And that he was going by the teachings of Malcolm X and this and that. And I was like, this has got to be made up. But it's not.
No, he got around that. He got around that money. He got around that money.
Sorry to tell you, sister.
And then when George Bush and all of them protected him from Anita Hill, you know, all that shit kind of played an influence on Clarence Thomas knowing
well,
that
according to the documentary, he changed.
Yeah, they invited him. They invited him out to the 19 hole, just like they did Sarge, and they Bronco busted his ass.
He got around.
And when
they was
done, when they was done, he had a barcode on the ass cheek, and they sent him out in the world.
Because they said that because when they were priming him, and when he got the first job, I think Ronald Reagan had given him a job or something in his administration, because they had already got a hold of him, the Heritage Foundation and stuff like that. And then after he basically, what was it? What's the department? EEOC. He was in charge of taking care of that. He basically whipped that to shreds. All of the black people, federal lawsuits and stuff that they had, he basically gutted all of that stuff. And then when he was done tearing that up, then he was given a federal judgeship. So they said, you sit here to the next available slot come open. And then H became president, and that was the slot. Thurgood Marshall health was bad. So they put him in there. And Anita Hill wasn't the only woman that was set to testify against him. She was the only one that Joseph Robinette Biden allowed to testify.
Man, she had the most damaging shit, man. This nigga left a pubic hair on a Coke can.
But they had other witnesses.
Whoa.
One woman, two of them were sitting. They was ready to testify. Joseph Robinette Biden was in charge of the whole hearing and who was testifying, who that. They didn't bring him on. They just let Anita Hill get roasted over the coals. So I blame his ass too. I blame him too. That's why I don't like. Joe Biden.
You blame him because he was in charge of the committee.
Yeah, he was in charge of the committee, and he was working with them, and they did not bring on those other women to testify.
I believe Joe Biden was against Anita Hill, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was making some kind of statement trying to blame her or some shit. I seen some shit.
Before it even got started, right? Ain't that how it went?
Yep. So yeah, I blame him too.
I was really young. It was a big deal. I was young, but I remember watching it.
I was real young too, very young. But as you watch my documentaries, her book is terrific. And people put them, that's how I found out a lot more about it.
Hey, she's still talking now. Yeah, she's talking now, ain't she?
So that's when you found out more about after I became grown and an adult. And I saw a whole piece done on that. PBS got a great documentary on that. That's why they're trying to get rid of PBS because of stuff like that. A great documentary on that. And all of that stuff is for anybody who wants to look at the records are public. They had other women that was sitting there waiting for their chance. And Joseph Robinette Biden put it because they think we're going to get him in there. So he played a role in that too. I didn't know any of this back then because I was young. But I knew.
I don't know very much about it now. That tell you, I just know a little bit about it.
There's some good documentaries out. There's some good books written about that. You get into it. You see how they did that thing. And I'll say it again. Joseph Robinette Biden played a big role in that. And I found that out years ago. And some things I was watching and reading and stuff on that. Yes, he played a big role. And the one thing that he insisted upon was that Teddy Kennedy, you sit back and let that other cutthroat dude take your time and question her. Because Teddy Kennedy had that Rappaquitic thing going on where that woman got killed. So and people was like, I know he will be sitting there questioning. Chappaquiddick, yeah, what did I say? Rappaquiddick, yeah, Chappaquiddick. That whole mess. So yeah, Biden played a major role in making sure that thing got going. Biden is a white man with white man views. He said he's a Zionist and all of those things. And I think he mellowed some over the years with some of his antics. But he always wanted to be president. Yes, I voted for him because it was a vote against Trump. But he always wanted to be president. And that's why when he got his chance, Trump was messing in it the entire time. And that was good. It caused the American people problems, but that was good enough for Biden's legacy. Because Biden didn't used to be no good. Sorry.
What? Hey, Tyrone, I heard you and OC talking earlier. I was driving, so I didn't chime in, but I heard y'all talking. Well, a question was put up I guess about when did everything change with the Republican Party?
Mm-hmm.
I think you asked something. I think it was you. You asked something like that. And I had the answer, but I didn't get to chime in. I wanted to answer that question for you. And you pretty much know the answer. Everybody pretty much knows the answer when that happened. And that was when Trump was nominated. You remember Trump is the most unorthodox candidate in life. And it started with if you remember, it started with the debate with Jeb Bush. Remember, I think it was like 8 or 9 of them up on, and Jeb Bush was up there, Rubio was up there. That was that first debate that Trump won.
And Lindsey Graham was up there.
Yeah. And if you remember, all the Republicans at that time were still behaving as establishment Republicans. They switched when Trump got nominated because they no longer need the black vote because they have been able to galvanize all of the racists that they were subduing and keeping back and holding back in their party. So they had to have the black vote, which you could say the black vote. Republicans really didn't give a shit about the black vote. As long as they could get the independent vote. That supplemented them not having black people voting for them. But when Trump came in, the independent voters got spooked and they lost a large demographic that would keep them in office, the in-between cracker. And so they had to go replace that in-between cracker. And you'll find snippets of Trump saying they don't need the independent voter. They just need to get racist motherfuckers. He didn't say the word racism. That's my word. But he said they need to get the Trump voter that isn't a voter and make them vote now.
Yeah.
Turn them out. So that tells me go deeper into Appalachia and get more crackers. We don't need them motherfuckers if we get all our racist crackers to vote for me.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly what I was saying years ago when I was talking about the demographics. If they get all these white people to vote for them, they don't need no goddamn black people.
He called them the silent minority, and he was talking about them racist people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen to this, Tyrone. And Sister Nobody, I know you still out there. Hope you listen. Yeah, the system is broken. It's a failed system. It's limping, but it still works. And to prove that to you, if we could turn niggas out like Trump turned racist crackers out, it doesn't matter what they do about the gerrymandering. It doesn't matter how they cheat because an overwhelming force will defeat that. But look at the complications that we have, especially as black Americans. We can't get niggas to vote. No, there's no convincing a nigga to vote. For some reason, it just doesn't compute in their head that the vote is so valuable when all the evidence is right there. If it wasn't valuable, why are they trying to take the right away from you? If it wasn't valuable.
Well, there are too many people out there telling people not to vote, man. Like that really resonates whenever they say that. When they tell them,
doesn't matter.
Whenever they tell you you ain't getting nothing for your vote, what are they doing for you, and all that kind of stuff, that resonates with people because it's true. You know what I mean? The black community ain't got shit from these damn elections. It
is true.
But listen, y'all, you are right. Both of y'all right. But at least I would like to think we three people know part of that, a good part of that, is that we don't vote. Period. Mm-hmm. I mean, what is it? Like less than 30% of the voting demographic in the United States votes every year. That's less than 30%. And if we're in the high 30s, 35, 36, something like that, it's always going to be a Democrat. Democrats won if 36, 37% of Americans, shit, fucking 33% of Americans vote, Democrats win every fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's down around the 20s and 28 and 27 and shit like that, Republicans win. Now imagine if 60% of the demographic voted. We'd have a large enough majority to change that Constitution, wouldn't we?
Yep. Yep.
We'd have a large enough majority to pass another law when the Supreme Court takes away voting rights. We will have enough people in the House and Senate to rewrite another law and stick it out there. Fuck y'all, Supreme Court. So it's just a thought. And I didn't say 100%. I didn't say 80. I said 60. You'd have enough votes to add more people onto the Supreme Court. Whatever the Democrats want to do, they'll be able to do it. But it has a lot to do with the people giving them the power. Now, listen, all politicians are corrupt, but we can see what the corrupt Republicans want to do to us. So, I mean, I'm not going down that road. I'd rather stick with a motherfucker that might be stupid enough to let me loose rather than a nigga who gonna have me cuffed hands, feet, neck, back, a hood, and I ain't never getting out of that shit. That's the Republican Party.
I agree.
So,
I agree 100%.
I'd rather deal with a nigga that might fuck up, look at his phone, and I'm gone. That's the Democrat Party.
Yep.
So it like OC said, we don't have a motherfucking choice. Okay, the system's broken. It's been broken. We know it will work, but the motherfuckers operating it is the reason why it's broken. Okay, it's all we got. And unless niggas got big cojones and are ready to manufacture their own weapons, manufacture their own munitions, and start a campaign of war against this motherfucker, then you might as well deal with the system. Because I looked at the generation behind me, and them some pussies, man.
I agree. That's what I was saying. We already in a hole. You want everybody to stay home and nobody vote. Then we in a bottomless pit. We right back in Jim Crow, Reconstruction, Big OC said slavery. I don't know if I would take it that far back, but we damn sure back in the heart of Jim Crow and Reconstruction. And we in a bottomless pit. And you ain't got nothing to hold on to pull yourself out. No, when I hear people say that, and when people say voting doesn't matter, and look at our neighborhoods, all our neighborhoods aren't like that, because the people in the certain neighborhoods that go vote and send people down to represent in Washington, their neighborhoods look better. But for all the people who don't give a damn, none of that don't matter. Look, I mean, we were telling people, well, don't fill out. If you have a lot of people with that mindset, and don't fill out the census, oh my God, I'm not going to get on that, because I'll go for 2 hours about the census mess. Because don't fill out the census like this, because they don't know how many of us are here. Are you kidding? Were you born in a cabbage patch? No. You were born in a hospital. You got a birth certificate, and when you die, they give you a certificate. They already know we're here. What are you talking about? That was old thinking. I get that. But y'all still on that backwards silent majority type thing. I want them to let us know that we here. Everybody got a birth certificate.
It's a dumb concept. It's a dumb concept.
I don't understand
it's almost
that.
like.
Well, I understand. I understand why people are angry and frustrated, because, like I said, ain't shit happening.
I do too.
Ain't shit happening for the black community, and it hasn't happened for the black community for a long time. But not voting is not the answer. We need to find a way to address these frustrations and explain to them how politics can help, Because
Man, we need to stop being stupid in school. That's period, point blank. I'm sorry. They teach civics in school. It starts in elementary. It's
well,
just
the first
boring.
one of the
And
things
niggas got to get out of that damn bullshit and pay a fucking attention because it's dealing with your life in the future.
One of the things you do is that whenever you see somebody like a Tariq Nasheed or Yvette Cornell on social, you got to know whenever they say that stuff is wrong. You can't be captivated by that misinformation about voting in America. And people get trapped into that rhetoric. And they're making a point. They're making a point. They don't know. They there for money. That's what they're there for. They're there for views and money. They don't give a damn about politics because politics.
They grifting.
Politics ain't going to affect them as long as you keep looking at their videos. As long as they keep getting paid, they don't give a damn about politics.
They grifted. That's all it is a grift.
And you get caught up in it, because that's why I was following Carnell and them, because she said that the one thing that the black community needed was a political education. And that's what it looks like they started out doing, giving an education. I said, oh, well, this is a good thing. Thank you. Hopefully a lot of people get involved because we need a political education out here for the people. Then I started, it was like, well, in that election, I agree, depends on where you were. Make sure y'all concentrate down ballot, send the right people off the way. And I was down with that. But y'all still talking that, and the predicament that we had just got out of was Trump. Biden was coming in. I agreed with them. Put your foot to that administration and make them do. But then you still talking that dumb stuff when this man has got, oh my God, that's why I had dropped all of that. And Tariq Nasheed wasn't getting any political education. He was just on some.
What confuses me about them is that they only talk to one side. It's a two-party system, and they always screaming at the damn Democrats, In order for anything in this country to get done, both sides going to have to agree to it.
Exactly.
So whenever, and I know that mainly because black people vote Democrat, that's probably why they screaming at the Democrats, but ain't shit, whenever they started talking about reparation, now you talking about both parties interacting. So why you screaming at the Democrats about reparation when both parties need to participate in shit like that? You can scream at the Democrats. You can scream at the Democrats about your communities, your condition, and what they getting for your community, because that's who you voting for. But whenever you take it to another level to where policy need to get made by the government, both parties need to be involved.
Both parties got to be involved in that. And that's what I thought they were talking about. And I had agreed that we got a better chance of getting the reparations going from the Democratic Party, because you ain't going to get nowhere from the Republican Party. And I was like, okay, but we need to make the Democratic Party our party. And we need to do this as it relates. And, I was down with all of that. But then a lot of the talk has started turning into other things. Then you had too many of our people out here talking about when Kamala was running. It was like, do y'all not know what the alternative gonna be if y'all sit this out? Like, I can't think of the girl from Insecure, not Issa Rae, the other stupid girl from Insecure, where they were talking about, because the whole thing with Gaza and all that stuff like that, and stuff started getting out of hand. No, he's just gonna sit there until Palestine is free, and I'm with that. I'm with you on that. Until Palestine is free, none of us is free. That's true, but we can't throw away. Look at the predicament we're in right now.
No, see, that whole Palestine argument was bullshit, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes,
I want Palestine to be free. I want Israel to stop doing whatever.
We all want
but
that.
This is America. This is America. The American politicians can't do shit about nothing over there in Palestine during the goddamn election. Not one damn thing can they do about any of that shit. They can get on there and speak their rhetoric and say whatever, but what that's gonna do, that's gonna lose the goddamn election for them. AIPAC gonna come after them with all kinds of goddamn money, and you're gonna lose the goddamn election by bringing that type of shit up. Once that politician get in office, like they trying to hold AOC foot to the fire about her stance on Palestine, yeah, you can make them damn take a stance on Palestine then, but you got to get them in the goddamn office first. You don't go to
get them in office, yeah.
You don't go to their rallies and I ain't seen one motherfucking Palestine protester at these Republican goddamn rallies. Why is that?
Because they didn't go to them.
That's
and
bullshit.
It's like, okay, and everybody was like, the better strategy is to get Kamala in there. Because she said she spoke with those people in private. Because she can't just be out here, well, I'm going to do this to hell with Israel and all of the things that you want to hear. She said that she spoke with them in private. I hear you. She was the better candidate to get her in there and put foot in her ass to do something. Trump, look at what they do. We got a whole war with Iran. They bombing up Lebanon and all them things over there. It's like, what kind of strategy are you people doing? Hold the vote. And from my understanding, what I have read, the Palestinians down there on the ground wanted Kamala to win. But the people other places was like, no, hold the vote. That whole Jill Stein foolishness. I said I wasn't even going to get into all of that. But, I mean, y'all going to hold the vote. Don't vote for Kamala. I'm not going to vote for Trump. And look at the situation. When the people on the ground was looking for Biden to be gone, Biden was a better choice as far as he wasn't a great choice either. It was a bad, horrible choice. He let that go on. But Trump, yeah, they let them have free reign. And I just didn't understand the strategy. It was stupid, dumb strategy.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I'm looking for them people that was out there anti-Kamala to say anything that Donald Trump is doing. This motherfucker, he fucking up the goddamn. He literally broke the goddamn planet. Donald Trump he fucked that White House. He broke the goddamn planet by stopping up the Strait of Hormuz. Everybody in the world is suffering because this motherfucker's in the White House.
And people were trying to say, if we lose all our rights, you can barely even protest for Palestine right now. You can barely protest. They call you anti-Semitic, lose your job, all kind of stuff going on. We have got to be able to protest. What don't y'all get about that? If we can't protest and put these people and make them do, then what are we going to do? It was like that went in one ear and came out the other. It just
that is a good point, because Donald Trump is attacking freedom of speech. He's attacking protesters, peace, and that's in the Constitution. And ain't nobody saying shit about Donald Trump violating people's civil fucking rights.
And what they did to the college students out there, it was stupid. It was no strategy. They had no strategy, none.
Well, family, this could be a commercial on what happens to you when you don't vote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what happened.
Well, they ain't gonna look at it like that. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's a perfect example of what happened to you whenever you don't vote.
I mean, you don't vote. We can sit back and complain, but everybody's not going to get out there and do this or do that. A lot of people don't have money to donate to causes and to different things like that to get things moving, right? We know this. So if that's the one tool that you have, use that tool.
Well, yeah, that's why that's probably all I can. That's as far as I can speak on it, is your vote, and try to stress how important it is. There ain't nothing else I can do except for tell people how important the vote is, But there's so much opposition. There's so much opposition rhetoric out there. You can't get through to people. So.
and they got you right where they wanted you to be from the beginning, not voting and let other people decide for you. I just, even if the candidates who I want don't win, I cannot sit back and let other people decide for me. I just can't do that. I cannot do that.
I'm kind of simple. When I look back on history, all the way up to today, the white man is still trying to stop black people from voting, and that's all I kind of need to. That's all I need to vote right there. I need just all I need to know to vote.
Well, yeah.
Oh, the white man trying to stop us from voting. All right, well, I'm voting. But I'm a simple man. Other people are complicated.
Well,
But
that's
to me,
what
that's simple.
you right. You right about that because they're clearly trying to stop us from doing it. They're writing laws. They got the Supreme Court taking away rights, stopping us from doing something that it must be effective. You know, even though I don't see it clearly, why the fuck are you going through all of these problems trying to roll back access to the damn ballot box?
I would say voting has helped, but one of the main things voting has done for us over this period of time, it has allowed the majority of us to breathe a little bit. They take that away, we screwed. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like Sister Nobody was saying that we still fighting for clean water. Yeah, and we still fighting to hold on to the vote. Let's don't give that up. We're fighting for clean water, and we're still fighting for the right to be able to vote. We can't give that up. We can't just let that go.
Well, I want to put this out there. It's kind of like a PSA, because I know how black people think, because I'm black. You know, we like to put everything on us because everything's been on us since we've been in this country. But if you really look at it, you know, these white folks don't care about nobody. Okay? They're trying to turn this country into an oligarchy.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Franklin, you know, he did say it's a republic if you could keep it. So let's
if you could keep it, exactly.
Let's just narrow in on that point right there. Then, as a black man, I know if it's gonna be hard for white folks to keep what they built, a black man gonna have it twice as hard just to survive. Okay, so the voting is very important. With that, just on that measure alone, if the cracker will subdue his own, you know, that means we gotta wake the fuck up. We definitely gonna be a target. Okay, so democracy itself is at stake, and that's what they put together. Okay, so claiming that voting and all this shit, the Democrats, more white man shit. Okay, motherfucker, you live, eat, breathe, and shit in white man. That's what this country is. Okay, so I don't understand this attitude as if I'm living outside the white man right now, and y'all asking me to vote, you asking me to go back into the white man for help. Motherfucker, you ask the white man for help every fucking day when you pay your electric bill. When you pay your fucking taxes. Because you don't want to see that white man at your door. Talking about, come on, get in the car. You don't want them out there taking your property. So you pay your property taxes. Nigga, you laying down with the white man, whether you like it or not. So why not use the system, and, you know, in the best possible black way you can, instead of fighting it and prolonging it? Because you ain't doing nothing but making this shit last longer, and we go through more bullshit, getting punk ass motherfuckers like Trump in office.
And it really ain't about us in this current time to be. It's about our children and our children's children.
Exactly.
We leaving them a world that is
Exactly.
we leaving them a world that is fucked up. They're gonna be born in. Look at all this. How high rent is? That's corporations. How high this shit is? All this shit is corporations, and the corporation got this kind of power because the Supreme Court decided on Citizens United. If the Supreme Court was if we would have voted in the right Supreme Court, they wouldn't have got Citizens United. So voting is important. It has effect. Look at the Supreme Court now, turning back rights and shit. You know that all that happened because of voting.
I tell you today, really quick, on my way home, I had to stop, get some of that overpriced gas, and the pump at the gas station, I saw this woman car. It looked like it was breaking down where she was pulling in. Nice looking woman. Had a all right looking car, and then the car just came to a stop. So I was pumping my gas, and the gas station blanked out, like it went like a blip. So whatever you was pumping, all the machines that kind of went down. So while we was standing outside, and the guy from the gas, he came and he was like, "Okay, just wait." He was telling everybody we had whatever, we lost whatever. Coming back up, then it all came back up. And while we was all standing out there, she was on the pump on the other side. And she said, sis, I need your help. And I was like, well, what's wrong? And she said, I had to pull up here and I done ran out of gas. And she did. I saw, unless her car, she was doing whatever she was doing. She said, I don't have no money. She said, I pull up here and I just thought, she said, I don't have no choice. I have to beg somebody because I got to be able to get my car home. And I said, well, it won't start. And she was trying, it wouldn't start because she was out. And I said, did you need to use my phone? I said, I could not use my, get nobody my phone. I can make a phone call or something. She said, no. She said, I'm just out. I don't have any money. I don't know what I'm going to do. I lost my job like this time. I was just trying to make this call home. She said, if you don't believe me, she showed me her driver's license. And from where she lived, it's okay over there. But some people you could get without and you don't have a dime. I can understand that. And I said, give me a second. Give me 1 second. And this guy, brother on the other side, he was pumping. And I said, let me finish doing this because I had to get my receipt because that thing blipped. I wanted to see how much it was charging me, this expensive ass gas. And I said, so you sure you don't need to make a phone call or something like that? And she was like, no. She said, I just need a few dollars to turn it over. And then I'm going straight home. She said, you see where I live, this, that. And she wasn't, I don't think she was lying, trying to scam. And I said, well, let me put $10 in. That ought to be enough to see if we could get it to turn over. And let's see. So, and this man, this brother, he was on the other side. He said, you go ahead and put your 10 in, sis. He said, I'm going to go ahead and put $10 in too after that. So we put a $20 and she, you know how you be trying to get the car started when it be out? Mm-hmm. And she managed, it kept on and she got it started. And she started to cry. And see, it's that shit like that. That type of stuff. That's why I've just been doing so much cursing this evening. Because that broke my heart. That our people is out here. I don't know what's going on with this woman. She said she lost her job. She was doing this. And her brother was going to come over and bring her. She had this sister. And I was like, you know, it broke my heart. It made me cry. People is out here suffering. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a lot of money, but I could do that. And he was listening. He said, go ahead, sis. He said, I'm going to put $10 in on it, too. So he was like, don't flood it. You don't want to flood the thing or whatever he was telling her. And she got it to turn over. And she was like, okay, sad, yeah, I'm going to head on home. You know, people out here is suffering. And I just get incensed when somebody's like, don't vote. I can't. I just can't. That thing broke my heart, and it's getting ready to make me cry right now again because people are out here suffering.
Yeah,
People are out here suffering.
We don't know what folks is going through out here.
People out here were suffering, and it was us two black people, that man and myself, that held that we out here suffering, and we gotta. And she wasn't because I saw her car half jerk, and when she pulled up, I said, "Well, she breaking down or whatever." And then when she said what it was, I mean, people out here suffering. We can't sit back. I understand revolutionary and things like that, but we got to get serious with what we're doing out here. We really do. You got to, and she was a nice looking woman. She wasn't no trash woman. This, that. She just got the hardest of hard going on right now. And she had to go out somewhere, she said, and she was trying to make it back home. Her brother was, she said, my brother's going to come tomorrow and drop me off a few dollars. She said, I was trying to make it back home. I'm just trying to get the car home. I was like, hold on. Just hold on. Let me finish doing what I'm doing, see what these people done charge me. I said, but let me pump it. And he was like, go ahead and put the 10. I'm going to put $10 in too, because he was listening. I could tell he was listening because he was ahead of her. And I was like, you know what? People out here suffering. And people got to get serious. And people could talk about a revolution or I'm down for it, but we don't have the numbers. We just don't. But we got to get serious.
The black people ain't gonna bust no grape in this damn country. You know, it ain't gonna happen. I know there's a lot of people, and I seen a lot of YouTube channels that these people were serious, like Black Militia, and they want to do it. So, and you know, they talk a good game, but I know it ain't gonna happen. So.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I know our people is out here suffering. And if I had all the money in the world, I would help as many people as I can, because I don't need $1 billion. I don't need $1 billion. But if I can help you, I will. I don't need $1 billion, but if I can help you, I will.
The only other thing we got is these politics. You know, that's about it. That's all we got.
So right now, but everybody out here, everybody is cool. It's not just us. They said they get ready to screw the white middle class. They get ready to screw all of us, the blacks, the whites, the Asian, everybody. These people trying to pick it apart.
Yeah, see, the problem with the white, the problem with the white poor people is all of them got a mindset like Sarge. Is they not gonna oppose that white man in charge, even though they suffering.
Nope.
They suffering just as bad as anybody else, but they not gonna do that because they're gonna be looked at as a Democrat or being on the same side as a liberal or whatever the fuck. These some dumb. This is the history is gonna show that this era of white people are the dumbest motherfuckers that ever walked the goddamn planet. These people are stupid.
They're not the worst, because it's like I can't think of his what's the guy, the writer, the one who was calling anti-Semite, the one who spoke to Obama about reparations. I can't think of his name right now. The black dude. He said they're not the worst group, because back when our parents were growing up, and before then, but they the dumbest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Back in those times, the white people were pretty damn ignorant, but these people right here is stupid.
And they were evil, but they dumb. They're real dumb. I don't have the answers. I don't think any of us have the answers. But, and some of them, they got no kids. They have no nothing. All of their kids and everybody, like my auntie and used to say, they eating biscuits and gravy. That's all they got. It's biscuits and gravy. That's what they have for dinner. But they think you better. They just dumb, and they worse off than the average black person in the hood. And they're worse off than them. But so I don't know. I don't have answers. I wish I did.
Yeah. But look, y'all.
Go ahead. Tyrone. Mm-hmm. There was at least one Negro, one black man that didn't need welfare that was collecting it. There was at least one. I heard you and OC talking about that earlier about the Jewish man collecting a chip, but owns his house and all that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Old dirty bastard. Don't you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And you got a pretty good, clear indication on why well-to-do niggas don't fraud the system. Because guess what happened to ODB?
They came after him, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They came and got his ass. Right.
But why he told that was beyond. I forget what was the guy who was interviewing him. He told that the guy with the hair. I can't think of his name. But he was the one interviewing him. He told that story not too long ago, and it's just like, why did he tell that? I don't remember when that happened, but not too long ago, I heard the story again. I remember hearing about it, and I got a little bit more of the story. Why did you tell? Why did he? Well, I don't think he had the most sense. But you weren't supposed to tell that. You weren't supposed to tell that.
He was legitimately getting it because he got so many kids. That nigga, ODB got a gang of kids. Right? And so that's why he was getting it. And it might not have been his money. It may have been his baby mama money, but he pulled up in a limo to collect the check. Remember he had on the white fur? I think he had on a white fur, a short fur, and he pulled up in the limo and was like, "It's free money, y'all." But that was I just remembered that when y'all were talking about it. Yeah, white man been frauding the system for years. Hell, welfare was put together for white folks. And white people have been fucking defrauding the fucking welfare agency for years. And the reason why black folks don't do it is because we know they're gonna come arrest us. We know
that was Torrey was the one that interviewed him back then. It was for one of them not BET, but MTV shows, and he was all up on the camera. That was Torrey, and he told the story not too long ago. But like he couldn't believe dude was just telling it and had the food stamps.
Well, look, y'all, I gotta get off here.
Me too.
So if y'all on YouTube listening, y'all can call in, and I appreciate you, Sister Lisa and Mama's Boy and Sister Nobody. I'm gonna have to holler at y'all.
Big OC, don't forget Big OC.
Big OC. Yeah, Big OC.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Behave yourself.
Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir.